It's rare that a game featuring teams with a combined record of 1-9 would draw such national attention, but that's what we have. As one of the biggest names in college football to come out in decades, Tim Tebow is given a chance to start in the NFL. The Dolphins, the Broncos. Our kickoff is next on CBS.
Presenting Subway Fresh Buzz, a look at football's top teams. Subway, the official training restaurant of Justin Tuck and Damatong Su, Mark Ingram, and athletes everywhere.
Send it home with the hands low. Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dominate.
With a sack by defensive end Andre Carter, an interception by defensive back Kyle Arrington, and a touchdown catch by receiver Wes Welker, number 83. The first-place Patriots beat the Cowboys last week for their third straight victory.
CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
We expect the occasional thunderstorm today, but it is a great day at 80 degrees. There is a slight breeze. The Broncos coming off a bye. They lost 2 weeks ago at home. John Fox is in his first year as the head coach of Denver. The Dolphins lost on Monday night to New York to the Jets. Tony Sparano is the coach of Miami. Matt Prater will be kicking off for the Denver Broncos, one of the top touchback guys in the league, and deep back will be Clyde Gates, a rookie they really like, in a fourth-round pick out of Abilene Christian. Here we go, the Broncos and the Dolphins on CBS. Out of the end zone. Touchback. It'll be first down and 10. Let's go to the Miami offense, engineered today by quarterback Matt Moore, making his second consecutive start, replacing the injured Chad Henne.
Yeah, and Matt Moore has to balance the ability to stay aggressive and challenge the defense while at the same time making good decisions with the football.
What about now, Victor? 0-5 Miami. Denver at 1-4. Here we go, first and 10. Reggie Bush is in the backfield. Long the block at the left tackle. That's a catch for the tight end Fasano. Coverage on the play by Wilhite, and it's a gain of about 6 on the play. Former tackle, now right guard Vernon Carey played the best of all linemen, they say, in that loss Monday up in New York. Jake Long has been to the Pro Bowl every season at that left tackle. And former Bronco Brandon Marshall has had a couple of 100-yard receiving games this season, but he is struggling with drop passes. Here's a second down and 4. Reggie Bush brought down by Woodyard. And he picks up 8. He's out to the 33 and has a first down. Bronco defense, Doomerville, now part of that 43 defense. It's brand new, still searching for his first sack. Rookie linebacker Von Miller has had an explosive start with 5 sacks already, 6th in the NFL. And rookie Quentin Carter out of Oklahoma makes his first NFL start today. First and 10. Again, they run the ball and trying to find some room. Reggie Bush picks up 2, the former New Orleans Saints player.
The Miami Dolphins are banking that they'll be able to find some room to run against this Denver Broncos defense. They struggled 2 weeks ago, week 5 against San Diego, where the Chargers had over 200 yards rushing against the defense. And you know, Tony Sparano knows they've had the bye week to work on it, but you got to test them nonetheless.
Broncos opening up in the nickel, second down and 8. Moore. Pressure from Doomerville. Devon Bess in front of Wilhite. Gain of 5, and he's to the 40-yard line.
And Matt Moore, you could see his career. He had talked about he had been with John Fox in Carolina. 4-1 as a starter in 2009, but you could see in all his other starts where the completion percentages come down, so has his ability to win ball games.
He began at UCLA, then he transferred and played in the Pac-10 at Oregon State.
And what did John Fox tell us? He has small hands. He's unflappable, but he's banking that every now and then that ball will come off his hands differently, giving his defense a chance to make a play.
3rd and 3 for Moore. Another drop. And that's been a problem, as we mentioned before. Brandon Marshall, that ball was right on the money. It would have been probably good for a first down. They got to punt the ball 5 and out for the Miami offense.
I spent some time with Brandon Marshall just yesterday, and we know that he has been one of the more prolific wide receivers in the National Football League. But he said, I have to do a better job of catching the ball when it's thrown to me. I have to help out my quarterback, Matt Moore. That time didn't help him out at all.
Brandon Field will punt for Miami, and Quan Cosby, the ex-Cincinnati Bengal, is back on the 6. Back by Wilson. And he was tripped up on the play by the long snapper, Denny. 54-yard punt. A look at Tim Tebow. The crowd erupting. You can hear him right now. 12:44 to play in the first. Dolphins have already had it. 5 plays punt. 15-yard line. Tebow and the Bronco offense will begin at first down and 10.
Tim Tebow, he's been in a big game a time or two. Something tells me he's going to be cool as ice water. Just business as usual.
First and 10. This is Willis McGahee. And brought down by Jeremiah Bell. Working his way to the 17, picking up 3. Tebow starts. He'll make his 4th NFL start, but the first of this season.
Yeah, and he told us he didn't want to make a big deal of this thing. Didn't want to overthink it. He says, hey, I'm just going to go out and play football and just be myself. And I think that's the way you ease the pressure. Just do what you're capable of and don't try to do too much.
Sean Moreno is in. Eddie Royal in. 2nd down and 7. Almost picked off, incomplete. They were going for the tight end. Incomplete pass. Well, the Bronco offensive line, the 2nd youngest in the NFL. Blindside protection today by the rookie right tackle Orlando Franklin, who played at the University of Miami, as did running back Willis McGahee, who already has recorded 3 100-yard games this season. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Demaryius Thomas atop your screen. Tebow upended at the 23, picks up 5. Jeremiah Bell makes the tackle. They got to punt the ball.
I want to go back to Tim Tebow's first pass of the game and watch the pressure coming right in his face here. Now this ball should be intercepted by Carlos Dansby. Tim Tebow, look, he panics. That ball should be intercepted and returned for a touchdown. So Tim Tebow's got to do a better job of understanding where the unblocked pass rusher is coming from and do a better job of making a decision with where he wants to go with his hot read.
He's going to Thomas that time. Here is Britton Colquitt, one of the top punters in the NFL. And Devon Bess. Wow, what a great punt, which drives Bess back to the 12. Cassius misses the tackle coming in. Chris Harris. And Cassius Vaughn just about had him. 66-yard punt. 11:18 to play in the first.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Sprint. All football, no limits. Only from Sprint. And by Pizza Hut, where we're big fans of delicious pizza deals. Only at your Pizza Hut.
Dolphins getting ready for their 2nd possession today. Denver just punted 3 plays and out. Matt Moore from his 28, 1st down and 10. 4 in the Denver secondary.
Easy. Alert. Hey, get the right mark.
Daniel Thomas is in the backfield on 1st and 10. The rookie out of Kansas State gets the call, wrapped up by Ayers on that defensive line, and a gain of 2 to the 30-yard line.
If you want to know what the Dolphins have to do to really be successful in this game on offense, I believe it whenever you're playing with your backup quarterback, the players around him have to do more. If it's running the ball with Daniel Thomas or if you're Brandon Marshall, you have to make plays for your quarterback. He's going up against Champ Bailey, a former teammate, but he's got to play big in this game today.
2nd down and 8. That's Thomas once again. And grabbed in the play by Joe Mays, a linebacker, to the 35-yard line on a gain of 5.
Interesting because the Dolphins are coming off a Monday night game, only had 5 days to prepare. The Denver Broncos are coming off a bye week. They've had 13 days to prepare. You would expect the Denver Broncos to be ready. Now, They made the switch at quarterback with Tim Tebow. They're going to do things differently on offense than they did with Kyle Orton. But this Broncos defense ought to be well prepared for today's game.
Wilhite comes in as the 5th DB. 3rd down and 3. Blitz is on from Dawkins. Looking for Bess. Coverage by Bailey. 3 and out. They got a punt for a 2nd consecutive time.
No credit Brian Dawkins with the pressure on the quarterback, forcing the high throw. It's going to go right over the head of Bess. Look at Bailey with slight disruption in the timing of the route, but it was more about pressure on the front end in the face of the quarterback, Matt Moore, that forced the high throw over the head of Devon Bess.
Juan Cosby is awaiting the punt from Brandon Fields. Some people feel that Fields has been the MVP of this disastrous Miami season so far. Cosby from the 11 hangs on a 4-5. He's belted down, as you can see. Wilson was right there to make the stop. 12-yard return, 54-yard punt. Another try for Tebow. 9:56 in the first.
As we return to Sun Life Stadium, here's a traditional look at the Broncos offense with Kyle Orton under center. He's going to read the defensive reaction with a combination route. Now, he'll have to find the open receiver by reading the defense, and it's a 2-receiver route to that side of the field. That's what they do with Kyle Orton now. A less traditional offense has Tim Tebow in the shotgun formation, reading only one receiver to one side of the field. It's an easy read, easy throw, and not as complicated in the offense. So you see them tailoring the offense around his skill set with Kyle Orton now not in the game.
Second team defensive line is in there for Miami. Tebow's second possession, 1st and 10 after the Dolphin punt. Willis McGahee. Jeremiah Bell brings him down. 32-yard line, a pickup of 8.
Yeah, Tim Tebow came in to start this game on the first drive. Only threw it one time, but was nearly intercepted. Carlos Dansby had an opportunity to return that for a touchdown, and then they have a designed run play for Tim Tebow. The safety comes up to make the play. So this defense for the Miami Dolphins right now locked in on whatever Tim Tebow is doing.
Sometimes he's under center, sometimes he's in the shotgun. What do you think is easier for him?
You know, Champ Bailey's told us, hey, it's not going to always be pretty with Tim Tebow.
2nd and 2, and this is McGahee moving a pile. Hit by Dansby, among others, and McDaniel getting off the pile. That is a gain of 6 and a 1st down for Denver.
And our game points, we said that you cannot forget about your traditional running game with Willis McGahee. He's come into this game with 300-yard rushing performances so far this season. The Miami Dolphin defense have given up some big plays, but I think you got to pound away with Willis McGahee. That will make Tim Tebow's job a lot easier in this game today.
He took over for John Fox, did McGahee, when Noshan Moreno was injured. 1st down and 10. Here he goes again. Run out of bounds by Dansby. Out of play, he flies. A 13-yard scramble for Tebow and a 1st down.
Well, not every quarterback plays that position the same way. Here's Tim Tebow. He pumps it up the field. He sees that he has room to run. He's able to outrun one defender in the underneath covers. That's why he's able to move the chains and create a new set of downs. He talked about the fact that he's just going to play his game. I think he'll play best doing it that way.
1st and 10. McGahee. Oh, big Paul Soliai on that defensive line. Clog in the middle. It's a loss of a yard.
Take a look at the offense and the averages of these starters going back to 2010, and you can see the point production when Tim Tebow's in the game. The rushing yards has been better when Tim Tebow's been in the lineup because he's added to that. Now the win-loss record right around 500 for Tim Tebow in his 3 starts, and I think you got to do things differently. And John Fox said that Kyle Orton actually won the quarterback competition during the preseason, but it hasn't translated into production during the regular season.
So he had some great practices. 2nd and 11, Tebow. Dansby can't get him. Boy, then they knock him down. Odrick was right there. No gain on the play. They stay at the 49.
We're going to talk a lot about Tim Tebow. Does he have good fundamentals? And I think we're going to just have to grade him on the outcome and on the overall effectiveness, because he's going to play the game differently. You see him getting out of the pocket, swatting linebackers by. He's a very big guy, kind of like your Ben Roethlisberger. Now, can he extend plays and eventually make plays with his arm, finding open receivers down the field?
Dolphins have gone to 5 in the secondary, 3rd and 10. You saw the flag. Eddie Royal to the 43. Hit on the play. 7-yard pickup. Kevin Burnett was right there with the stop. As Clete Blakeman is our referee today here in Miami in his 2nd season.
Illegal formation. Offense. Number 78 was not on the line of scrimmage. That penalty's declined. Brings up 4th down.
That's Ryan Clady, the left tackle.
Yeah, the left tackle is just trying to cheat a little bit against these speed rushers coming off the edge, set back too far off the line of scrimmage, drawing the infraction. So Denver had some movement on that 2nd possession, but nonetheless, they're forced to punt again.
And that'll be taken care of by Britton Colquitt, number 2 in gross, number 3 in net punting this season, with Devon Best back at the 10 for Miami. And he signals for and has allotted the fair catch at about the 13-yard line. 30-yard punt. 2 punts for the Dolphins, 2 punts for Denver.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the 2011 GMC Sierra. This truck month, there is no better time to trade up to the best Sierra. And by Allstate. Dollar for dollar, nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate.
Broncos just punted on their 2nd possession. 6 plays punt, 13-yard line, 3rd possession for Miami, 1st down and 10. Bush in the backfield. Moore. Devon Best had it, dropped it. They call it incomplete. It almost looked like he had a football move. Ryan McBean was putting pressure off that Denver defensive line.
Now, when we talk about helping out your quarterback, Matt Moore, this is what we're not talking about. You've got to catch the ball because he's able to elude the pass rush, gets out to the edge of the defense, and look, Devon Best, it hits him right in the hands. You have to be able to haul that in for your quarterback. And, you know, this offense has struggled. They've gone 7 straight quarters without scoring an offensive touchdown, and I think that's one of the examples and reasons why.
1-11 in the last 12 home games. On this 2nd down and 10, Bush. Dawkins got in there, and Dawkins playing with the neck and an ankle injury today. It's a gain of 4 as he weaves his way out to about the 17.
Yeah, the drop balls have plagued this offense. 3rd down offense in terms of efficiency, where they rank dead last in the National Football League. They convert their 3rd downs maybe about 24% of the time, and then in the red zone is where they really have struggled. So even when they have moved the ball, once they get to that 20-yard line or inside of it, they've self-destructed.
6 in the Denver secondary, 3rd and 6 from the 17. Here comes Miller, but there on the other side, the blitzing Brian Dawkins with his 1st sack this season. The 24th of his great career.
Wow, and he times it up perfectly. We talk about disguising the defense, and there you see him here. Watch, he'll come, he'll time that up. But because he's on the 2nd level of the defense, you don't know if he's coming or not. And see, Moore never sensed that he would come unblocked, and even in the backfield, they're not able to slide and pick him up. So just give Brian Dawkins a lot of credit for disguising his intent to blitz the quarterback.
Another punt for Brandon Fields out of Michigan State. Not all that long. Taken by Cosby at the 42. And then an avalanche of defenders go down there and bring him down. 37-yard punt tackled by Koamisi. Another look at Tebow and 4:57 in the 1st.
You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Halloween is right around the corner. Tebow's such an unpredictable quarterback. That's going to be tough sometimes for a defense to prepare for.
Absolutely. He can do so many different things. And if you're the Miami Dolphins, your defense came in here facing the unknown, not knowing what you're going to get from Tim Tebow.
After a Miami punt, here comes McGahee. 1st down and 10. And And he was hit and brought down on the play. Dansby got him. Gain of 3. Tebow has won 2 championships in this stadium. 2005, the Florida Class 4A championship game. Actually, in that game, he played some defensive line as well. Then in 2009, the BCS national championship game with the win over Oklahoma.
And team president John Elway won his last game in what is currently Sun Life Stadium, the 1998 Super Bowl, and that win over the Atlanta Falcons.
2nd down, 7. McGahee found a gap and crawls through. Tripped up on the play by Cameron Wake, and he slithers for 12. 1st down to the 36.
The Miami native, look at him. This is Willis McGahee. He'll hit it, and he'll come right up the middle, right up the gut of this Miami Dolphin defense. That zone blocking scheme, one cut, then downhill. And Willis McGahee is a Miami native, and I think they've got some good mojo coming here to Miami. They're looking for a win on the road. The Broncos are 1-9 in their last 10 games on the road over the last 2 years.
He's got a 1st and 10. McGahee hit by Misi, grabbed by Bell, and finished off by Solian. It's a loss of 2. Back to the 28 as we go to James Brown in our CBS studio.
Hey, Kevin, Solomon can appreciate this secondary play here.
Yeah, Sully, just like we talked about in Pittsburgh, you let him catch the ball, score the 1st down. It's to Dustin Keller. Then Donald Butler rips the ball out of his hands, takes it back 37 yards for the touchdown, puts San Diego up 7-0. The Jets responded with a field goal, 7-3 San Diego.
I think I hear Solly cheering there. Back to Kevin Harlan, Solomon Wilcox.
Now, that's how Bill Cowher taught us. Strip them and rip them. And make plays on defense.
Here's Tebow on 2nd 12. No Sean Moreno. Walton tried to throw a block, and then Dansby was the one to trip him up on a gain of a yard.
Talk about field position for Tim Tebow. They exchange punts, and the Denver Broncos pick up 36 yards on the exchange in possession. I think Tim Tebow's got to take advantage of it. And right now, you just have to believe that he can finally get this offense going. He's been a slow starter. He came in week 5 against San Diego, didn't play as well in the 3rd quarter, but boy, in the 4th quarter, he caught a spark and really got it going.
Lance ball is coming 3rd down and 11 for Tebow, needing the 14, make it the 16-yard line. Got him. Nice play turned in right there by Odrick, who is out of Penn State.
Tim Tebow came in saying, I have to make good decisions, knowing when to throw it away, when to slide, when to run, when to throw it. This is one of those cases where you got to throw it away. You cannot take a sack here, 3rd and long, and allow yourself to get knocked further back in terms of the field position as you set up Prater for the field goal.
Well, they're going to try one from 49 before the game. He kicked a 63-yarder with room to spare. 5 of 6 this season. Plenty of distance, but wide right. He misses. A happy, embattled head coach, Tony Sperano. And his defense continues to hold Tebow and the Broncos off the scoreboard. Well, tonight on CBS, travel to Bangkok, where it's 4th and long for the former NFL tight end and his wife. Don't miss a new Amazing Race. That's tonight only on CBS. So the defense holds. It's 1st down and 10. As you take a look at John Fox, many successful seasons in Carolina let go, and he comes in along with John Elway, who now heads the football department for the Broncos.
And what did he tell us? We're not rebuilding, we're building.
We're building.
He says that's why we traded Brandon Lloyd. We believe he had better opportunities elsewhere. We have a trio of young receivers who we also need to take a better look at.
Thomas was in the backfield, 1st down and 10. Brandon Marshall brought down by Wesley Woodyard. It's a gain of 9. He's out to the 48 as we once again take you to New York and James Brown.
Kevin and Solly, Bears fans are saying, pay Forte.
And this is not how you tackle on defense, Sully. He's going to take his 32 yards from the outside back to the inside. Chicago goes up, now 7-0. They also lost to Ernest Graham to an injury. May not return to the game.
Kevin and Solly.
2nd down and 1 in the no huddle. Looking for Hartline. What a catch. He makes it at the 38. He was defended by Jonathan Wilhite, the 5th defensive back. 14-yard pickup and a 1st down.
Well, these are the kind of throws we said that Matt Moore is aggressive. He will attack the defense. He had some nice throws in the Monday night game, but this is a really nice one and an even better catch by Brian Hartline, keeping the feet in. Take a look at Tony Sperano. He's right on top of it, calling it in for the official.
It's first down and 10. They get Marshall again. And again, working on Wilhite. Shy of the first down by a couple, picks up a quick 8.
You know, we talked about it. Chemistry between the wide receivers and the quarterback, Matt Moore. Yes, he is the backup quarterback, and now they're getting a better feel for him. And how about the fact of helping him out by making catches on the ball when it presents itself? Because right now he's dialed in, throwing some nice balls.
5 in the secondary. Kansas State rookie Daniel Thomas. Hit by Wilhite and Williams. You see the pile right there with a gain of 5. Down to the 25. So Hartline's caught 1 for 14. Marshall's caught 2. 1 for 8. 1 for 9 on this Miami drive.
Yeah, you got yourself a first down. You have to ask yourself, should Miami take a shot at the end zone? Try to score from here because you haven't been able to do it once you cross the 20-yard line.
First and 10. Shy. I don't know if it was deflected or not. It's incomplete. It was Shy on the play, and second down and 10. Quentin Carter was in the vicinity and watching Brandon Marshall.
And once again, the lack of chemistry between quarterback and wide receiver shows itself there. He's expecting Brandon Marshall to cut that route inside. Marshall cut outside. So the quarterback, wide receiver not on the same page. It's really taken them some time to get it together. They came off a bye week going into the New York Jets game and still not able to blend themselves and meld together offensively.
Player down. I think it's Richie Incognito, who's been around the NFL. He is down on that knee. A starter last year, a starter this season, and he's keeping a cooler head. He's kind of been a hot-headed player over his career, but he's settled down here in Miami.
Well, we've seen him bring emotion to the game, to say the least. But when he's settled down, he is a really good football player. Very big and physical in the interior portion of that Miami Dolphins offensive line.
Moore said he lost a little bit of confidence in that performance on Monday in New York. It looks like he's picking up some rhythm on this particular drive.
Absolutely. He misfired on a few. He challenged one of the league's best in Darrell Revis and was burned by Revis as he returned 100 yards for a touchdown. But I still think you got to play aggressively. You've got to take shots at the defense when the opportunity presents itself.
With 5 in the secondary, second down and 10. Devon Best, blocked by Hartline, blocked by Long. Good pursuit. Doomerville among a couple out there. Gain of 5 down to the 20-yard line. That concludes the first quarter from Miami. Tim Tebow coming back to his home state with no score. Three consecutive Miami possessions, 3 consecutive Miami punts. This is their 4th. They're moving the ball, faced with 3rd and 5, where they have struggled this year.
Yeah, when you struggle with a league low, converting these third downs 24% of the time, it really causes a great deal of anxiety on offense. But with a hard count.
Encroachment. Defense, number 98. 5-yard penalty is enough for a first down, Miami.
That's Ryan McBean.
Take a look at McBean, number 98. There you see him jumping off. He wasn't alone because they could have called 92 Elvis Doomerville also.
Well, you got to pick one, right?
You got to pick one. You can only call it on one. McBean is the guilty culprit.
Well, that's huge. It was 3rd and 5. Now it's 1st and 10. That's the first penalty of the game. Daniel Thomas read well. Aaron McBean made up for it, losing 5 on the play. McBean was a high pick by the Pittsburgh Steelers. They drop him back to 20.
McBean does a really good job of beating in on it. Look at him, comes over and sniffs this one out, comes off the block. Instead of chasing the quarterback, he's very alert. So you can see the Broncos defensively well prepared after having extra days to get locked in on what they expect to get from this Miami Dolphins offense.
Have a tough week for McBean, arrested on allegations of stalking in Denver. Hanging over his head. 2nd down and 15 now, back to the 20. Dumerville trying to chip in. That is dropped. He looked before he caught. That's the third drop Miami pass today. That's by the rookie. And that is out of Daniel Thomas's hand.
Oh, the drops inside the red zone have hurt them tremendously, Kevin.
Week 1 against New England. Drop pass in third quarter trailing 21-14. Week 2, Houston. Drop pass second quarter trailing 13-3. Brandon Marshall dropping one week 3 at Cleveland in the second quarter. That game was tied there. And then against New York on Monday night with Revis breathing down his neck.
5 times that could have been a touchdown. You can see 3 drop passes by the Dolphins today.
3rd and 15. How about that? Bobbled that one. And Thomas can find. He's a leading rookie rusher in the NFL, but a couple of bad plays right there, forcing 4th and 15. They'll try for 3.
And Matt Moore is hot. He's saying, can we do anything right? If I throw it to the guys, they drop it. If I don't have time to throw it, then we're certainly not going to be able to score. And that time he was just lifted by the defensive lineman for the Denver Broncos. Not nearly enough time to set up in his backfield.
So Carpenter's going to try one from 38 and get on the board, which he does just into the second quarter. On that drive, Hartline caught one for 14. Marshall caught a couple for 8 and 9. They finish off on a 38-yard field goal. Dolphins are used to playing with an early lead.
Yeah, they're used to scoring first, but still 0-5, and even a better number. The Dolphins have been outscored 37-9 in the second quarter. So while they're used to scoring first, they give up a lot of points in the second quarter of ball games. And as you can see, another failed red zone attempt. Didn't come away with the touchdown.
So after his 38-yard field goal, he'll boom it the other way. Quan Cosby just lets it fly over his head and out of the end zone with a touchback to the 20-yard line. And here comes Tim Tebow for another try in this game.
Well, he's gotten off to maybe an even start, some good, some not so good. But here you can see him making plays with his leg to create a first down, finding the checkoff man and dumping it down to his receiver, but getting caught in his own backfield. Maybe when the pass rush was too much, the protection wasn't there, should have gotten rid of the ball and not taken the sack. It forced Prater to kick an even longer field goal that he eventually missed.
1st and 10. Willis McGahee. Hit by Dansby, second leading tackler a season ago, and Bell jumps on him. It's a gain of 4. He's out to the 24-yard line.
And right now, the Miami Dolphins are playing an 8-man front, an 8-in-the-box defense, because they know they have to defend Willis McGahee from running the football, but they also know they have to be prepared and have an extra unblocked defender for Tim Tebow, because he can also run it on the quarterback keeper. And here he is under center, where he has struggled to get the ball from J.D. Walton, his center, in recent weeks.
2nd down and 6. Little play action. Here comes Langford. Spencer Larson chased by Dansby. The catch and run to the 40-yard line. 16-yard pickup and a first down for Denver.
Oh, excellent timing by Tim Tebow, because watch, pressure coming from the backside. Now watch him sense it and then start to roll to his left and then get rid of the ball before the defender can get to him. And so he made that play happen, holding on to it just enough, moving to his left, buying a little more time, feeling the pressure coming in from the backside.
Larson with his 8th catch of this season. First down and 10. McGahee again. He was drilled by Nolan Carroll. Culver. It's a 12-yard pickup. That's another first down to the 48-yard line.
Oh, take a look at Willis McGahee. He's patient, picking through this Miami Dolphin defense. Jeremiah Bell thought he was going to bounce outside. He's the strong safety, serving as that 8th defender in the box. And so McGahee cuts back inside. He's able to get additional yards. Great reading and patience by Willis McGahee.
No, Jean Moreno is in right now with the 1st and 10. And this is the number 1 pick out of Georgia. Big hole. Out of bounds he goes. Knocked out by Culver. 13-yard gallop. It's a first down to the 35 to JB in New York.
Mark Sanchez going for the home run ball, coach.
Yeah, the previous play was a touchdown pass called back because of holding, but this time he's going to try to find Tuxco Bears. Eric Weddle's going to pick it off, and now already New York Jets 2 turnovers already in the first half of this game.
7-3, San Diego, second quarter. Back to Kevin and Solly.
I saw the Jets against this Miami team Monday in person. I didn't like the way they played, although they won.
Their offense struggled early in the game.
Reno again, running hard, falling over defenders and working his way into the grasp of Dansby along with Kevin Burnett on a gain of 6 as he's down to the 29.
I think the Denver Broncos have stumbled onto something. They found out they can run on this Miami Dolphins defense because of the 19 plays they've called so far in the game. 14 of them have been run plays, only 5 pass attempts so far from Tim Tebow.
What do they say? The quarterback's best friend is a good running game.
That's right, good running game. And Willis McGahee and Noshawn Moreno, they're giving it to their quarterback.
Second down and 4 with McGahee back in. Nice block there by Daniel Fells. It's a gain of 3. And he's down to the 25. He's got the first. Let's go back to New York and James Brown.
Coach Solly has another reason to smile.
Oh, yeah, Solly. How about this tackling? Watch Rondé Barber form tackle with his arms, drives him in. All defensive scores are showing you today, Solly. There's a safety right there by Tampa Bay. 7-2, Chicago.
Kevin, it's all Cowher and Solly.
He got his head in front, Coach. I'm standing on the chair right now. I'm so excited.
Well, they didn't give him the spot for the first down, so McGahee on 3rd and 1 is grabbed by Burnett and helped by his teammates with a good shove in there by Cameron Wake. It'll now be 4th down. Still shy of the first, and they've got to get to the 25, which we thought they had captured on the previous play.
Yeah, let's see. And just better run defense that time by the Miami Dolphins, getting some penetration in the background and getting into the backfield, I should say, by Burnett, but really just more stout. Every guy in a gap.
Well, they're going to try for 3. Matt Prater, who used to be on the Miami practice squad about 5 years ago, is out there to try one more. This will be a 43-yard try, fanned earlier from 49. Wind in his back here. It's got the distance, but this time it is wide left. 2 missed field goals by Prater. Empty-handed Tebow. 9:43 in the first half.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by FedEx. FedEx does more than shipping. FedEx, solutions that matter. E-Trade, investing unleashed. And by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Broncos have missed a couple of field goals. On that last miss from 43, Miami takes over. 1st and 10. Here's Reggie Bush in the game. Back in the game, Jason Hunter wraps him up and takes him down. Gain of 5 right there for Bush. And the embattled, as we mentioned before, head coach Tony Sperano. Wonder if he can survive another loss here for this winless Miami team.
Well, sooner or later, as a head coach, you have to get a win. You don't get to lose them all and still stick around. And Tony Sperano knows that. That's why he's continuing to coach. But the one good sign after losing 5 in a row, this team doesn't show any signs of fracturing or turning in on itself.
Bush on 2nd down and 5. Weaving his way and finally doused at about the 50-yard line. Brought down from behind by Von Miller. That's a burst of 12 and a first down for Miami.
And remember, Reggie Bush was knocked out of the game on Monday night, I think in the 2nd quarter of that ball game. Started off running the ball very well. And so far in this game, as you just saw in that run, looked very good. He has to provide a spark and a change of pace from Daniel Thomas.
He broke his leg last year. Here's a 1st and 10, and Bush once again. And tripped up. McBean gets him with no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10, and coming up on the Sprint halftime report. We'll take you to New York with JB and Company for scores, news, and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint halftime report. Remember that last year, Bush with New Orleans broke his leg, and that took a lot out of their offense.
Oh, absolutely. They had 3 running backs on IR by the time they played in that wild card game up in Seattle.
2nd down and 10. Little shuffle pass right here, and Bush is taken down. Miller read it well. Loss of 2 on the play. Back to the 47-yard line.
Like Von Miller is some special player. He read this all away, and Matt Moore nearly pitched the ball. And Von Miller almost had it. He was on top of Reggie Bush before he even received the football. So right now, if you're Tony Sperano and you're Brian Daboll, the offense coordinator for Miami, you've got to dial up something that can really take this defense off guard and catch them off balance.
Broncos with 6 in the secondary. Daniel Thomas has come in, 3rd and 12. 2 seconds, 1 second, timeout. The quarterback was unaware of the play clock, which was at 1, and Sperano calls it from the sideline. 7:28 to play in the first half. After the Miami timeout, they got it 3rd and 12. Those numbers aren't pretty right there.
0 for 8 combined between both teams on 3rd down. That's anemic offense at its worst.
Watch for Fasano, the tight end. We're number 80 right there, crouched on the end. Moore, Devon Bess. He was hit by Andre Goodman. Driven out of bounds. They're shy of the first down. Gain of 7 on 3rd and 12. They got a punt again.
Oh, they failed to convert the 3rd down, but at least we get some protection for Matt Moore. He throws a nice ball to the slot receiver, Devon Bess, and he actually makes the catch. Now he fails to get to that first down marker because of the swarming defense for the Denver Broncos.
To punt Fields. Quan Cosby is back inside the 10. Wind in the punter's face here. Little knuckleballer, have a little bit of English on this, and it will be fair caught at the 10 by Cosby, who signed a couple weeks ago. 35-yard punt. Here comes Tebow, and 6:55 to play in the first half from Miami.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the One, the Accord from Honda. And by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Tebow today here in Miami. 3 plays punt, 6 plays punt, a missed field goal from 49, a missed field goal from 43. Now with his worst beginning field position, 1st down and 10 at his 10. McGahee. They were going into the nickel, and a nice play there by defensive back Will Allen. No gain on the play. Well, Bobby Douglas is one of the comparisons that people are making with what Tebow is right now. The former quarterback with the Chicago Bears out of the University of Kansas, played 11 seasons in the NFL. There are a lot of similarities you can see just by their size and the fact that are both southpaws.
But see, I think there's more to Tim Tebow than him just being, quote, a running quarterback. I think the energy that he provides in a huddle, he provides a spark, and I think it was Champ Bailey who said it the best. We can't help but love this guy. He's a special, one-of-a-kind player.
It's 2nd down and 10. Tebow. That is incomplete, looking for Eddie Royal. Hasn't played since a groin injury week 2 against Cincinnati. 3rd and 10.
Just really good coverage. Now you're going to get a play action pass, and they'll bring the receiver across the formation. There is Royal right here. And now watch this throw to the outside. He can't get it. Now it hit his hands, but Jeremiah Bell picked him up. It's a tight window. But Tebow puts this ball where his receiver should catch it between 2 defenders of the Miami Dolphins. That was a really good throw.
Timeout, Miami. They didn't like it. Moreno is in. The linebackers both signal for a timeout for Sperano. That's the 2nd timeout taken by the Dolphins, who lead over Tebow and the Broncos 3-0. You like that throw at Tebow's minutes ago.
I do like the throw, and I wasn't looking at his motion. I just looked at the overall effectiveness of the throw. Thought it should have been caught by Eddie Royal.
Moreno is in on 3rd and goal. Tebow is whacked, and that was almost picked off on the flutter ball. Boy, was he hit hard.
Well, the Dolphins having a hard time coming away with turnovers and interceptions.
That was Kevin Burnett right there. Uh-oh.
Passer, defense number 37, blow to the head of the quarterback. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
That's Jeremiah Bell from the secondary for Miami.
Yeah, Jeremiah Bell, they're going to call him. He's the blitzing safety. He's not yet in the frame. Go ahead and roll it, because he's going to come in. Now watch him coming in late, right there, to the head of the quarterback. Now, was that a glancing blow or a forcible blow? Let's listen. I would say that's forcible. Remember, you can make contact with the helmet of the quarterback with a hand, but if it's only a glancing blow, you can't strike him in the head immediately, as Jeremiah Bell did on that play.
Kind of looked like the gator chop as he was coming right in there. Here's a 1st and 10. McGahee is back in and finds room, fumbles the ball. Miami has gotten it. Jeremiah Bell vacuums it in at the 40-yard line, and the game's first turnover.
Oh, the Dolphins finally get one. They have come into this game ranked second to last in takeaways in the National Football League. Only the Pittsburgh Steelers, one turnover entering the week, had fewer takeaways than the Miami Dolphins defense, where they could have had 2 interceptions. Now they forced the ball away from Willis McGahee. He coughs it up. And Jeremiah Bell, the talented, strong safety, falls on it. And McGahee, he has to be able to be trusted with that football. He's got to be able to help his quarterback and his football team.
Former college walk-on, undrafted player, Pro Bowler in '09, Jeremiah Bell. From the 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Bush in the backfield, and the call. Clay with the block. Pouncey with the block, and Thomas brings him down. Gain of 3 to the 37, and get the edge you need to win your fantasy league. Interactive tools, award-winning player rankings, and expert chats throughout the week at cbssports.com/fantasy news. Fumble by McGahee. 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, in a game where the offenses don't give you a whole lot of point production, protecting the football is going to be even more vitally important. We talk about it being the great equalizers. Turnovers really do tip the scales in the favor of the team that can take the ball away the most.
Daniel Thomas is in, gets the call here on 2nd down and 7. Bursting free, Quentin Carter in the secondary will bring him down. He goes to the 24-yard line of the Denver Broncos. That's a 14-yard pickup.
He's a big back at 6'1", 230, but watch him as he'll come here, and then watch when he explodes through this hole. Look at that. He's pulling away from defenders, and only the secondary member can come over with a great angle to get him on the ground. So a big man who can run and accelerate when he gets to the second level of the defense, boy, that's really going to make this a better offense for Miami.
Former junior college option quarterback was Daniel Thomas. He gets it again on 1st and 10. Dives into the pile, not much there. No gain on the play. We mentioned before he's the leading rookie rusher in the NFL. And really, they got Bush, but this is their future running back, number 33.
He has to be the guy. And they're looking for a guy that obviously much bigger than Reggie Bush. And I think Bush and Thomas can make a good complement and committee of running backs. But at the end of the day, you've got to be able to power run it inside the red zones. You take a look at Reggie Bush. He's not that power runner. Daniel Thomas is.
Thomas from Hilliard at Florida. 2nd down and 10. Right on the money right there. It's caught by Brandon Marshall. Grabbed by the 10-time Pro Bowler Champ Bailey. It's a pickup of 7 to the 16.
You see Brandon Marshall working against the 10-time Pro Bowler, as you mentioned, Champ Bailey. And what did Brandon Marshall tell us? He said, I've never got behind him in practice once. They practiced maybe over 1,000 snaps against one another during the 4 years they were teammates. You can see the Miami Dolphins, no touchdowns in the last 132 offensive plays, the longest active drought currently in the National Football League.
3rd and 2. Oh, he fumbled the snap with Pouncey, the rookie, and it looks like he jumped on the ball, but that means 4th down. They just had 2 to go for the first. They blow a big-time opportunity. They'll have to settle for 3 and a try there.
Now they continue to shoot themselves in the foot. And this is just, he pulls out, I think, rather quickly. Look at this. See how he started to already back away before the ball was up from Pouncey? And they take away an opportunity to score a touchdown after the Willis McGahee fumble.
Here's Carpenter, who's nailed one from 38. This one will be tried from 36. Into a slight breeze, 6-0 Miami. With 2:41 to play. So the Dolphins cash in a bit on that McGahee fumble, and they get a 36-yarder just before halftime. We're back in Miami. Follow the NFL while on the go. The NFL's mobile apps are all new for the 2011 season. To get the apps, go to NFL.com/mobile. So the Dolphins have gotten 2 field goals from that guy Carpenter, 38 yards, and moments ago 36 yards. The fumble by McGahee sets up that scoring drive, and Tim Tebow, who through the air is 3 of 5 for 24 yards has yet to get on the board in his first start this season, the 4th of his career.
And this has been the story for the Miami Dolphins. Get off to a good start, but can't finish ball games. You know, sooner or later, Tim Tebow's going to get hot. He's going to be that spark that they expect him to be, and that offense can get really going when Tim Tebow gets hot.
So here comes Carpenter to kick off with Quan Cosby and waiting 5 yards deep in the end zone. They've all been touchbacks, and this will be the same. Moments ago, John Fox, the first-year head coach and a veteran of many NFL wars, talking with his second-year quarterback.
Yeah, he said that Tim Tebow showed that he has the intangibles. They love the way he brought the team from behind against the San Diego Chargers in Week 5, so they made the decision that he would become the starting quarterback.
There was a flag thrown.
Offside on the kicking team, number 50. Denver elects to add the 5-yard penalty to the touchback spot. It'll be their ball from the 25-yard line.
And you know, there's got to be a question, the internal battle to build for the future for both these teams or competing for this season. And we've seen, you know, differences in quarterbacks, and now we're on the second quarterback in Denver.
Who was it that said you play to win the game? And that's, to me, that has to be your primary focus, whether you're the Miami Dolphins or the Denver Broncos. And I think John Fox told us that Kyle Orton won the quarterback competition during the preseason. He says, but it's something about Tim Tebow. It looks different in games than it does in practice, where he takes his game to another level.
McGahee is in on 1st and 10. Little block right there by Cooper. Out of the reach of Moreno. Flag was tossed on the play.
Ineligible man downfield. Offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's Zane Beadles on that offensive line for Denver. So they'll mark it off. There is so much on the plate of a quarterback. The declaration, setting your protections, thinking about the play, the reads, the progression. I mean, there's a lot right there.
Yeah, but you know what? You have to be able to hit the open man. I watched Tim Tebow flush to his left. He's left-handed. See this throw? Goes way over the head of Noshawn Moreno. So when we talk about accuracy, and those of you who out there who love Tim Tebow and root for Tim Tebow, those are the plays you have to make.
So here's a 1st and 15 with McGahee going right into the teeth of that defense. Burnett, the former Charger, wraps him up high, gain of 5. Up to the 25-yard line. Nothing yet to Eric Decker, who is the leading receiver. This all in the wake of the trade of their Pro Bowl receiver, Brandon Lloyd, earlier.
Absolutely. I want to get back to Tim Tebow again, Kevin, because I think the lockout, it hurt a player like Tim Tebow more than anything. He's going from first-year to second-year player, and there's no OTAs, there's no mini camps, there's no quarterback school, where I think if he's able to work with his team, he's going to get better, he's going to improve. Without that, I think he has to do his best during the 2011 season.
2-minute warning back here in Miami. Coming up, the Sprint halftime report from our CBS studios in New York. James Brown and company, news, scores, and highlights. That's the Sprint halftime. Moments from now, 2nd down and 10 from the 25. Good block by Clady. How long can he hold him off? Enough to get it to Decker with his first catch today. Sean Smith was covering. Flag thrown at the 20. Pick up a 5 as it stands.
Holding. Offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
That's the blind side protector, rookie right tackle Orlando Franklin.
Yeah, you can see Urban Meyer, Tim Tebow's former college coach at the University of Florida, talking to him before the game, coaching him up, teaching him some things. And Tebow, he says, hey, I want to be coach. And we talked to him. He said he spoke with Urban Meyer this week, and Urban Meyer said, hey, he told me, just don't overthink it. Just go out and be yourself. Go out and win. So that's the advice he got from his former college coach.
5 in the secondary on 2nd and 20. Here comes Odrick. There goes Starks, and there goes Tebow on the fly. Tebow to the 36. 21-yard pickup. On 2nd and 20, he gets a first down on a run of 21.
This is better than any jailbreak you will ever see, because he's hemmed in on his own goal line. He looks like he may go down for even a safety. And look how he spins out of it and turn this into a dynamic play. So this is what you love about Tim Tebow. And look at him finish off that run against Carlos Dansby. Who's the quarterback and who's the linebacker? Tim Tebow wins that one, finishing it off very strongly.
There's a 1st and 10. They didn't take one of their 3 timeouts. Here comes Jeremiah Bell. Like a rocket. Brings him down back at the 27. Loss of 9.
Oh, you talk about disguising your intent to rush the quarterback, and Jeremiah Bell does it. He'll come here, but watch how he holds his water and late times it at the snap. And then it parts like the Red Sea on top of the quarterback. Tim Tebow never sees him. You have to do that playing against any young quarterback. Disguise your intent to blitz, disguise your coverages. He doesn't read it, doesn't pick it up. Defense makes a big play against Tim Tebow.
There's never been a better Dolphin sacker coming out of the secondary than Jeremiah Bell. That's his career 10th sack, number 1 in the history of the Dolphins in that category.
You had some great safeties here. You had guys like Jake Scott, Dick Anderson, and you're telling me Jeremiah Bell,
number 1
getting to the quarterback more than those guys? That's doing something, Kevin.
Led the team in tackles last season, former 6th round pick out of Eastern Kentucky. 2nd down and 18. They need the 46. And they got 2 timeouts. Moreno in the backfield. Here he goes again. Dancing with Dansby. Run out of bounds across the way by Jason Taylor. 37-year-old Jason Taylor on a gain of 4 to the 32.
And right now what you're seeing with a young quarterback with Tim Tebow, yes, the pressure is on him. The pocket is collapsing, but you don't have to take off to run necessarily. I think you keep your vision down the field and you run to throw. Force the defenders to come to you, but still maintain a presence of mind to throw the football. I think once he gets out of the pocket, he's tucking it and he's running to rush for yards as opposed to creating opportunities to extend the play and still throw the football down the field.
Into the nickel on 3rd and 14. Fumble. Miami's got it. Or they had it. Let's see if it looked like it squirmed away once they got the pile, and it was recovered. I think Matthew Willis got the ball. Let's see.
This is a designed quarterback draw. You see the center block down, and then the guard come over. This is a run all the way. Then the hit by, I think it's Langford, comes in, and he hits Tebow. Tebow fumbles. The Dolphins had a chance to recover it.
Sean Smith.
But it looks like the Broncos are going to get it back.
17 seconds to play. It is Denver's ball. 4th down and a long way to go. So Denver has got a punt again. Tebow on that last drive at a 21-yard run. Devon Bess is back at the 24. Waiting the punt from Britton Colquitt. He's got a brother who punts for Kansas City and whose dad punted back. Remember those great Pittsburgh Steeler years? Craig Colquitt back in the 70s. Devon under it, and Bess with the catch at the 37, 32-yard punt.
Well, why has a quarterback been the missing link for the Miami Dolphins offense all these years? Well, you go back to 2006, they passed on Drew Brees in favor of Dante Culpepper, and then 2007 they used a 2nd-round pick on John Beck. In 2008 they used the 1st overall selection on Jake Long, the offensive tackle, instead of taking Matt Ryan. And then in 2011, this offseason, they failed to execute a trade that would have brought Kyle Orton over to the Miami Dolphins, and now Kyle Orton is the backup quarterback behind Tim Tebow, still with the Denver Broncos. And so Matt Moore steps in, and right now the Miami Dolphins are still searching for that quarterback of the future. Take a look at Tim Tebow. The Broncos paid him $8 million. They went ahead and signed him, and now he's the backup quarterback. So if you're the Dolphins, I think you've got to try to improve yourself at the quarterback position before this franchise can turn for the better.
Well, like we told you, they're 0-5. They've lost 8 consecutive games dating back to last season.
The last timeout was a Denver timeout. Denver is now out of timeouts for the half.
A little bit of housekeeping right there. Take a look at Tony Sperano. Here at halftime, they're going to honor the 2009 Florida Gator National Championship team, and that's why Urban Meyer is here. There are about 20-plus players from that team that will be honored. Mike Pouncey, who is the starting center, a rookie for Miami, was Tebow's center on that national championship team. And you can see he is under center right now. He was with Tebow.
Other guys like David Nelson, the wide receiver for Buffalo. He's not here because he's playing with the Buffalo Bills. And then you've got other guys like Aaron Hernandez playing for the New England Patriots. Also played on that team. Was a really good tight end for Tim Tebow. So some really good players right now sprinkled around the NFL who played on that national championship team at Florida.
There is some confusion about the timeouts. And if our graphic is correct, nothing remains for Denver, we know. Nothing remains for Miami, or now they're going to give one to Denver. 17 seconds left in the first half. Matt Moore. Reggie Bush. One down by Dumerville. The 5. Conservative play for Miami continues. They did this at the end of the first half on Monday night in New York with more than a minute to play. Criticized for it in the Miami press this week. Here they had 17 seconds, far less time to work with. Nonetheless, a pretty conservative call.
Yeah, conservative call. I think that's the nature of this football team. Remember, they don't have a lot of playmakers, but we'll see what we get from Tim Tebow here in the second half.
Nothing in the first for Tebow. 2 field goals for Miami of 38 and 36 yards. We'll be back with the Sprint Halftime Report after this message and a word from your local station as you're watching the NFL on CBS. At halftime, they honor the 2009 National Championship Florida Gator team with former head coach Urban Meyer greeting that terrific ball club. We'll return to Miami after this. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Six Denver Bronco possessions in the first half. Nothing to show for Tebow and his offense.
Yeah, and even with 13 days to prepare for this game, Tim Tebow has yet to provide the spark they were looking for on offense. They've missed 2 first-half field goals. Tim Tebow's had at least one spectacular play, but not enough to get this team into the end zone and put points on the board.
We're going to look at a couple of plays here from that first half. Taking a look at the NFL mobile recap presented by Verizon.
Yeah, Jason Taylor had him trapped against his own goal line, but Tim Tebow pulls his magical act. This is the spark they were hoping that they could see more of, but they haven't had the kind of consistency. He's able to escape. It's a 21-yard gain. It's the best play Tim Tebow showed in the first half. They're going to need more of that in the second half.
And through 30 minutes of football, here are some of the numbers. We've got that turnover by Denver. We've got 2 field goals by Miami. One of 38 yards, one of 36 yards. And those are the numbers through our first half. And so Miami will kick off with Carpenter. He's the author of those 2 field goals. And this will go deep. And another touchback. Quan Cosby watches it sail to his arms about 8 yards.
Well, we got a little bit of mixed bag from Tim Tebow in the first half, Kevin. You can see that throw should have been intercepted. First throw of the game, he took a whack, but got back up, and then look at that incompleted pass. It should have been completed. Poor accuracy, poor ball protection in terms of not securing the football. So we get a fumble from Tim Tebow. We get some overthrows. We get a misread on the pass that should have been intercepted. 3 of 5 in the first half for 24 yards. He's run the ball 5 times for 44 yards. He's got to play much better here in the second half if they're going to win on the road.
He's going to open up here with both Noshawn Moreno and McGahee in the backfield. Clady with the block, going deep and looking for Demarius Thomas. Incomplete on the play. Coverage by Sean Smith.
All right, take a look at where Thomas is, and this is play action. It's all to set up the one receiver coming down the middle of the field. And look, he anticipated Thomas breaking that more toward the sideline because that ball wasn't even close to the intended receiver.
Broncos since late October 2009, an NFL worst 7-24. So obviously with the change at quarterback, looking to shuffle things up. 2nd down and 10. Some movement, no flags. McGahee tripped up on the play. Looked like by Burnett, one of the two middle inside linebackers, and a gain of 6 on the play. Dansby also had a handoff.
Well, if the Denver Broncos are going to have any success on offense and win this game, it's going to have to be with Willis McGahee fueling the offense and running the ball. It's the first game this season without a third down conversion in the first half. 0 for 11. Both teams combined today. Denver Broncos and Miami Dolphins. So we talk about the ineptitude on offense. They're giving us plenty.
5 in the secondary. 3rd and a long 4. He was hit by Wake once. He got him the second time around. Wake with his 4th sack of the season.
They've been waiting for Cameron Wake to show up against Orlando Franklin coming in from the right side of your screen. And Tebow steps up in the pocket, but then they shut that down, and he doubles back right into Wake, giving him a second chance. Look at working against Orlando Franklin. And then look at Tebow started to escape, but as he retreated back, Cameron Wake nailed him for the sack.
Britton Cole quick to punt. That's a season-high 4th sack for the Miami defense. Deep back is Reggie Bush for the first time today inside the 30. Cole quick from Tennessee. Bush. A block there from Nolan Carroll. And then goes for 14 yards and brought down by rookie Quentin Carter. Here comes Moore. Head coach Tony Sperano. Team has it for the first time here in the second half. After the 4 plays, punt by Denver. 1st and 10 by his quarterback Matt Moore. Right across the middle looking for Devon Bess. And the coverage on the play by Jonathan Wilhite.
Good coverage on the play. You can see the first half possessions by the Dolphins. You see 4 times they had the punt. They did have 2 field goals, and that last possession ended with the half. But there are a lot of possessions there that are going wasted where they're having to punt the football. And we talked about, or at least showed you, where they haven't scored a touchdown the second half on offense in their last 3 ball games.
On 2nd down and 10, there's a big-time hit and brought down on the play Von Miller. That's a sack for Miller. His Denver high 6th, one of the best in the NFL at that.
Oh, he's starting to heat it up. He's a young guy, but he keeps working. See, he comes all the way around from the outside as he's running the stunts. Look at him just looping around, and Matt Moore runs right into him. He nailed Matt Moore, come up with his 6th sack of the season.
Which now brings up 3rd and 13. 6 defensive backs for the Denver Broncos.
Ready!
Devon Bess. And he was brought down by Wilhite. It's a gain of 7, shy of a first down, and they got a punt.
Well, the protection was there. Reggie Bush came over to pick up the blitzing Brian Dawkins, who had really gave him problems in the first half, so they pick it up. But yet, when they complete the pass over to the wide receiver, Devon Bess, still not enough for a first down. These teams struggling on 3rd down. They're just going to have to go for it on 1st and 2nd down.
Fields the punt. And Quan Cosby back inside the 10. Great punt. Well placed. And it'll be inside the 5. Tebow will be marooned at his 3. That's a beauty. A 50-yard punt. We got to get excited about something. Let's get excited about these punts. 11:55 in the 3rd.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Scottrade. See for yourself why so many investors are saying I'm with Scottrade. And by the 2011 Ford F-150, built Ford tough.
Replays punt. Miami's first second half possession to the 3-yard line. 1st and 10. Willis McGahee into the grasp of Sean Smith. Working his way for a first down. Pickup of 11 on the play. Mark him down at the 14.
Yeah, and Kevin, Tim Tebow has only attempted 6 passes so far in the ball game.
Personal foul. Face mask. Offense, number 23. Penalties half the distance to the goal line. Still first down.
On the stiff arm.
As we said, Tim Tebow's only attempted 6 passes in the ballgame, but all 3 incompletions. Look at this one. Poor decision-making, nearly intercepted. Poor accuracy where he missed the wide-open receiver. And poor anticipation with his wide receiver throwing it clear to the sideline where he should have led his receiver up the field on the play-action pass. So Tim Tebow has to dial it in the passing game. He's run it very well, but has to make better decisions and have better accuracy throwing the football.
It's 1st and 8. McGahee by Soliai. Hit right there by Sean Smith. Cameron Wake. It's a loss of 2. Defense putting on the crunch right here. They've had 4 sacks of Tebow today.
Yeah, and everything is now starting to move closer and closer to that offensive line. John Fox knows that as the Miami Dolphins crowd the line of scrimmage, it's going to be tougher for Willis McGahee to run the football. Sooner or later, your quarterback has to make some plays, throwing the ball down the field to loosen up this defense for the running game.
It's 2nd down and 10. Willis McGahee again right into that pile and hit there by Igor Olshansky, former San Diego player, and a gain on the play of about 3.
And right now they're just daring Tim Tebow to throw the ball. They're getting one-on-one coverage on the outside with 8 defenders in the box. Willis McGahee doesn't have a shot. They're crowding the line of scrimmage. You can see the passing yards for the Denver Broncos at this point. They've got more punts than they do passing yards.
Ouch.
I don't think that's good. In fact, I know it isn't.
5 defensive backs, 3rd and 5. He's got to get to the 13. Locked down by Odrick, close to a 1st down. Odrick was the #1 pick out of Penn State, but on the injured list most of last season for this Miami D.
And if you're thinking, do they go back to Kyle Orton at this point? I got the sense from talking to John Fox, head coach of the Denver Broncos, they're going to give Tim Tebow a long, hard look. Right now, Tim Tebow, you take a look, Brady Quinn, Kyle Orton, neither quarterback has a contract that takes them into the 2012 season. Only Tim Tebow is the only quarterback on the roster who has a contract that takes them into next year.
Quinn is inactive today. Here comes a punt from Colquitt. Reggie Bush back at the 40. Good punt. Great punt. Bush from the 27. I don't know if I still see that same spark from Bush we saw earlier in his career.
Certainly not able to rip off big runs like what we are accustomed to seeing for Reggie Bush.
Where can you hear Steve Jobs talking about his amazing life? Only on 60 Minutes, his authorized biography. That's tonight. Only on CBS. After the punt, 4 plays by Denver. 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. Daniel Thomas in the secondary. Last hit by Andre Gooden, the ex-Miami Dolphin. It's a gain of 4. He's up to the 47.
As both teams just grind it out and try to put points on the board. I think sticking with the running game and having enough of a passing game to keep the defense honest. And right now it favors the Miami Dolphins. John Fox has to be concerned. Tony Sperano feeling really good about the way his defense is defending the run, forcing Tim Tebow to have to throw the ball to make plays. But his offense has to continue to run it and make enough plays with Matt Moore where they can be effective.
It's 2nd down and 6. Thomas. Best will block. Carey will block, and that doesn't make any difference at all. Doomerville comes through. No gain on the play. They'll stay at the 46-yard line.
And now as they face a 3rd and long, the defense for Denver has to make a play. Remember, John Fox coached Matt Moore in Carolina. What did John Fox tell us about Matt Moore? He says that he can be the one who pulled the pin on his own hand grenade. He said he'll do that from time to time. And I'm sure that's what he's hoping for here, to be able to force Matt Moore into making a bad play.
Well, he knows a lot about Moore, as you mentioned earlier.
Absolutely. He knows that aggressive nature can come back to haunt him.
3rd down and 6. Incomplete for Marshall. Coverage on the play by Champ Bailey. 3 and out. They got a punt.
Excellent coverage by Champ Bailey. He was in the hip pocket of Brandon Marshall. These guys went at it every day in practice over a 4-year period when they were teammates in Denver. And Champ Bailey right now is winning the battle. Brandon Marshall's not able to get his hands on many so far in this ball game. He only has 3 catches for 24 yards.
8 possessions for Miami. This is their 6th punt coming up. The two teams are combined 0 of 15 on 3rd downs today. Cosby will let it bounce. They don't get the right kind of English. Touchback to the 20 on a 54-yard punt by Brandon Fields. Another look at Tebow. 7:30 to play in the 3rd.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Outback Steakhouse. It's always fresh in the Outback. And by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
In a game that has had more punts than points, we see now Denver with it, 1st and 10 from their 20. Tebow. Incomplete for Demaryius Thomas, and the coverage on the play by Sean Smith.
Take a look at Tim Tebow, and you see it drops back, looking for his receiver to the outside, cutting it loose. Boy, that's not even close. That one's clear out of bounds. Give your wide receiver a chance to make a play on the ball. That's the expectation.
Willis McGahee with a hand injury. They think he'll return. 2nd down and 10. Moreno in the backfield. No shot. Grabbed by Soliai. Devoured. After a 2-yard gain to the 22.
Oh, the offense has gone nowhere, at least in the second half of the Denver Broncos. Tim Tebow launches one down the field. Showed you he wasn't close to Demaryius Thomas. And then the pressure. And he's running for his life and runs right into a sack with Cameron Wake. And then yet again, nowhere to go. This defense right now feasting on the tendencies they're getting from this Denver Bronco offense. And Tim Tebow is yet to move the offense here in the second half, where they have a total of -4 yards on offense.
Into the nickel, 3rd and a long 8. Tebow, and he had Decker wide open. Incomplete, 3 and out, 5th punt in 9 possessions.
Oh, we said this secondary has a tendency. Look at Decker in the slot. They have a tendency to give up big plays. If you're Tim Tebow working against Will Allen, you have to take advantage of it. Right then, they gave it to you. You've got to anticipate him coming open, throw him open to the middle of the field and have greater accuracy completing passes.
Colquitt was back to punt, and you heard the whistles and see the flags.
False start. Offense, number 81. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
I guess right now you have to ask yourself, if you take a look at Rosario, if you're the Denver Broncos, does Kyle Orton give you a better shot? And how long do you look at Tim Tebow? Because right now I think they're struggling to run the football because the defense of Miami is just stacking the box because they don't respect Tim Tebow's ability to complete passes down the field. I think with Kyle Orton, you maybe get a different look. But remember, he failed to move the offense in the first half against San Diego week 5 before the bye week.
Orton is a starter in these 3 years, 12 and 21. Devon Bess waving his arms. Fair caught. Cassius Vaughn was right there covering for the Broncos. 55-yard punt. Matt Moore out there with 6:25 to play in the 3rd. Well, replacing a legend is tough. Both these organizations trying to replace legends.
Yeah, since John Elway in Denver, there's been 11 total quarterbacks. And since 2000, Dan Marino and the Miami Dolphins, they've seen 16. Take a look at the president of the Denver Broncos, John Elway. Tough to replace, and I'm sure looking through those binoculars, he's not liking what he's seeing from Tim Tebow right now. He's missing some open receivers.
Bush in the backfield on 1st and 10. Reggie Bush. Nice little move there to get by Wilhite. Brought down on the play by Carter. Gain of 6 as we take you to our CBS studios and James Brown.
Kevin Solly loved to hear me say, Cam.
You know what? 7 rushing touchdowns, most rushing touchdowns in the league, tied with Adrian Peterson. Cam Newton, 16 yards, also 141 yards passing, 0 turnovers. Carolina, 16-6.
High is the rookie rushing TD mark as well, too, with Vince Young. Back to Kevin and Solly.
And guys, yeah, it's okay to be a rushing quarterback. Sooner or later, got to make some plays with your arms, right, Kevin?
Absolutely. 2nd and 4. Here comes Bush. And brought down by Mitch Unrein on that defensive line on a gain of 3.
Yeah, you can see Reggie Bush frustrated. They wanting to rip off the big one. You can see combined points and punts. And the failed 3rd down conversions are even greater than that of punts. And the points don't even have a shot right now. We got to get some offense, get the ball into the end zone.
We just showed a picture of John Elway. He says this rebuilding project is going to take at least 3 years in Denver.
Wow. Yeah, that's a total makeover of your football team. You got to start by finding a quarterback that you know you can build around.
Well, they had some personnel issues out there for Miami's offense. They burn a timeout. We're in the 3rd quarter. 5:05 to play. You mentioned this earlier. Elway played his final regular season game in his career right here.
He was a great one of the best. He could throw it, and boy, was he mobile, and really just had a knack for making big-time plays.
Thomas in the backfield, 3rd and 1, more. He's got his receiver across the way. That's Devon Best. He was working on Jonathan Wilhite. He picks up 4, and
a 3rd down conversion.
1st down and a 3rd down conversion. You're right.
Of course, I got to let you make that call. You do it much better than I do.
That's in the game, by the way. Combined 1 of 17.
Absolutely, 1 of 17 between both teams. The first time we've seen a team convert a 3rd down into a new set of downs.
Miami was 2 of 13 on Monday night up in New York, and they get one right there. 1st down and 10 from the 41. Oh, they came with the blitz. The wobbly pass picked up by Best, brought down by Carter. It's a gain of 10. It's another 1st down as we throw it to New York and James Brown.
A successful business trip to London so far for Chicago.
How about Chicago? Marion Barber, 12 yards. They are playing with urgency. Tampa Bay, which team's going to show up? Chicago, 21-5.
8:28 left in the 3rd. Back to Kevin and Solly.
Well, now those Bears on Sunday night really manhandled Minnesota, and they're doing the same across the ocean to Tampa Bay.
And they're finding their sea legs. Remember, they have a really good defense, and if you can just protect Jay Cutler, he can make plays.
Daniel Thomas in the backfield, 1st and 10. Now they're getting that momentum brought down by Joe Mays. That's a gain of 6 to the 41 of Denver.
And Kevin, we already told you that Matt Moore had to make some plays, just enough in the passing game to force the defense to respect their ability to throw it. Now you see they have some room to run it with Daniel Thomas. So you're getting maybe more balanced offensive attack from the Miami Dolphins. Matt Moore just good enough to help out his running game and causing that defense to respect his ability to throw the football.
The lineup with a couple of tight ends here on 2nd down and 4. Thomas, is he stuck? Broderick Bunkley, all 315 pounds.
Woo. Wow.
Loss of 2.
Watch Bunkley. He's not playing the pass. Get out an extra mouthpiece, because that's a chin rattler.
That is a big man. 3rd and 6.
How come the big guy comes out of the game, the little guy stays in? Bunkley comes out.
I don't know.
Thomas got nailed. He's still in the game.
That'll be 6 in the secondary for the Broncos. 3rd and 6 for Moore. Long with the block. Brandon Marshall beat Wilhite on the cross down to the Denver Broncos 31, a pickup of 12.
Take a look at him. He's in the slot, and this time you don't have Champ Bailey on him. Champ Bailey's outside on Hartline, and I think it's just smart by Brian Daboll, the offense coordinator. Now you're moving Brandon Marshall around, get him away from Champ Bailey. Maybe he can free himself up from coverage and make a catch saw him making a play right there.
That's a problem when they go to multiple in the secondary. They put Bailey inside, and teams are targeting the outside.
Yeah, it's just a smart play. Those are the adjustments we're seeing from the offense in the second half.
First and 10. Dawkins comes flying in and makes the stop on Daniel Thomas. No gain on the play. Brian Dawkins, 13 years, an Eagle, 8-time Pro Bowler. He's got a neck issue, he's got an ankle issue, but there he is out there playing in his 16th season.
Wow, 16 years. Could never imagine playing that long. You know how durable you have to be and how well you have to take care of your body.
You should know. You played many years in the league.
Particularly at the safety position, to play as physical as he does, to use his body as a battering ram each and every Sunday, and still answer the bell for 16 years. Just incredible.
It's second down and 10. Long with a good block. Bess. And again, Wilhite victimized Devon Bess with a catch and run of 13. He had a reception earlier of 10 on this same drive.
The Miami Dolphins have found something. His name is Jonathan Wilhite. Look at Matt Moore staring down the intended receiver the whole time because they want to target Wilhite. Matched up in coverage. That time it was Devon Bess. On the previous play, it was Brandon Marshall. But each time they were able to shake loose from Wilhite in coverage, still get the catch and run.
So Bess with catches of 10 and 13 yards. 6-yard run by Thomas. 12-yard pass to Marshall. First and 10. This is Daniel Thomas. Off down Ayers. Coming off the pile on a gain of 2 to about the 16. The Dolphins are on the move as we close our third quarter.
Inside the red zone, let's see if they can make money. This is where they come up anemic. A score here could be the difference in the ball game.
And that is the longest drought currently in the NFL. 10 consecutive quarters with nothing in the pay dirt.
Wow, and now they're knocking on the door. And Tony Sperano knows as he and Brian Tebow taking a look at that play chart, trying to find one that'll get them into the end zone. They have the right play design. Now let's see if they can get the execution.
Reggie Bush is in. Second down and 8. Fasano! Touchdown!
Well, their lack of scoring hasn't been because they haven't drawn up the right plays. We've seen Matt Moore not throw it to the right guy. We've seen guys drop it in scoring opportunities. This was well designed, well executed on the throw by Matt Moore, and then great execution on the catch from Anthony Fasano. Look at, he knows where he's at on the field, turns up and lunges for that pylon, and look at the look of relief in the celebration by this Dolphins offense after scoring the touchdown. And now they want to go for 2. They're going to get greedy. They score once inside the red zone. Let's see if they can get even more for the 2-point conversions.
They hadn't gone to Fasano since early in the game. In fact, the very first play was the last time they threw to Fasano. Courtesy of Pat McGrath. So here they're going for 2. Bush in the backfield. Two-point try for Marshall. It was incomplete. Bailey was defending. So it stays 12-0. On that drive, a 13-yard catch and run by Bess, a 12-yard pass to Marshall, and a 16-yard strike to the tight end Fasano. Tight end Anthony Fasano with his first touchdown reception of the season. People wonder why they don't target him more.
Well, certainly he has been a reliable receiver for Tony Sperano's offense, and that's what they'll do. They're looking for a few good men who can hold on to the football, because if they start catching the ball regularly, they'll become a better offense.
Matt Moore on that drive, by the way, 6 of 6. He was terrific. Catches long. Watches it go out of bounds. Another touchback. To the 20 for Tebow in the offense, and Tuesday on CBS. Can a cop who remembers everything solve a crime without a victim? Poppy Montgomery stars. Don't miss a new episode of TV's #1 new drama, Unforgettable, Tuesday only on CBS.
A crime with no victim. Now that takes it to a whole nother level.
I don't know.
I'm going to watch.
I know. I don't know if this was a bigger game today, Solomon, for Tim Tebow or the coach of the Miami Dolphins, Tony Sparano?
Well, yeah, with your job security on the line, you need your team to come out and play well. You need to win at home, and Tim Tebow needs to provide a spark for his team right now.
And first and 10, he gives to Noshan Moreno. Around his ankles, he finds Jeremiah Bell as he snakes Moreno out to the 26-yard line and a gain of 6.
Well, the Miami defense has turned up the heat because they corralled Tim Tebow. They kept him inside the pocket, which allows him to bring an 8th defender in the box, focus on stopping Willis McGahee, been able to punch the ball out, create turnovers. Of course, Tim Tebow and the Broncos fell on that fumble, but they haven't done much here in the second half as this Bronco offense.
Lance Ball is in and gets the call. His 10th carry of the season. Doesn't take it very much. Brought down on the play by Langford on a gain of 4. Lance Ball is out of Maryland, undrafted.
Broncos' first 3 possessions here in the second half, only 17 total yards and no first downs. And only finally get their first down of the second half.
First down just past the 30. Look at that. Wow. Broncos today, 9 possessions, 6 punts, 1 fumble, 2 missed field goals. Possession number 10, first and 10. Incomplete. Packet was coming. Adric has been all over Tebow today. We told you they've sacked him 4 times. Tebow is 3 of 9.
Oh, that was just a good decision to throw the ball away. 24 yards passing, 48 rushing. Only 72 total yards for Tim Tebow combined. Certainly expecting to get more than that. And boy, we told you, haven't done much here in the second half where he's got to be able to give them some life.
Moreno is back in second and 10. No shot. Again, they gobble him up. Adric makes the stop. Joe Paterno said that's one of the... Oh, back at Jason Taylor. Jason Taylor was in there to make the stop. You wonder how much he has left in the tank. He just threw him for a 2-yard loss back to about the 30.
Well, they're gobbling everything up because they don't respect the Broncos' ability to throw the ball down the field. So they're crowding the line of scrimmage. And this is what they told us. They want to get Tim Tebow in 3rd and long. And now they're going to come after Tebow. They want to pin their ears back. They haven't done much, you see, in the second half. But they want to keep him inside the pocket and then go get him from there after entrapping them.
Into the nickel, 3rd and 11 for Tebow. Here comes the blitz. There goes the ball, and incomplete for Royal, who is catchless today. Coverage by Will Allen, the ex-Giant. They got a punt. Tebow has missed his last 6 consecutive passes.
We give Tim Tebow an A for effort. Look, he hangs in the pocket, takes a whack, and tries to deliver this ball down the field. He knows he's going to get hit. I think this is actually a pretty good throw, considering what kind of pressure he was on. And Eddie Royo not able to come back and make the catch on the ball.
Colquitt to punt. Bess is back at the 20-yard line for Miami. No rush. Boy, then you just have to kind of whack it downfield, where it will be retrieved by a defensive back, Chris Harris, out of Kansas. 45-yard punt. Here comes more. They got some momentum and lead 12-zip.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by AT&T. Get it faster with 4G. Rethink possible. Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
Defense just got Denver to punt. Here comes the offense now. A 16-yard touchdown pass to the tight end Fasano by Moore the last time they had it. Daniel Thomas on 1st and 10. Ripped down by former Eagle Joe Mays. It is a gain of 2, and he's up to the 27.
And the Miami Dolphins now just want to pound the running game with just over 12 minutes to go in this ball game. Tony Sparano knows it's vitally important that they close out this game by running the ball, not putting it in the air, putting it in harm's way. The potential for an interception, big play by the Denver Broncos defense. You got to be able to close out games by running the football behind this big offensive line.
Bush is in the backfield, 2nd down and 8. Good maneuver up In the pocket by Moore. Nice catch by the rookie, Charles Clay. Taking it down the sideline all the way to the Denver 44. It's a catch and run of 29 by Clay, the 6th-round pick out of Tulsa.
And boy, Clay may have even saved an interception. Looked like Dawkins is going to intercept this ball. It's thrown behind him. And look at Dawkins in position to make the catch. But the one-hand stab by Clay not only allows him to make the catch, but a nice catch and run for a big play for the Miami Dolphins offense.
They call him Big Play Clay. Well, at least they did at Tulsa. He played tailback, fullback, tight end, receiver. He was a West Coast quarterback. He did all kinds. Played linebacker and defensive line at Tulsa. Here is a handoff. You see the swirling move right there. It's a gain of 2, and Thomas will pick it up down to the 42. Coming up, the Subway postgame show from New York. James Brown, Dan Marino, Shannon Sharp, Boomer Esiason, Coach Bill Cowher for the latest scores, news, and highlights on the Subway postgame show from our CBS studios.
That's our 5 guys.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I know you like 5 guys.
Oh, yeah.
But those are our 5 guys.
Who are those 5?
Not the guys who are painted.
Right. 2nd down and 7 with Daniel Thomas in the backfield. Moore is chasing the play by Ayers. He was looking for Thomas. Coverage on the play by Dawkins. Incomplete.
Good decision. Take the ball and throw it away. Put it out of harm's way. Brian Dawkins is coming with bad intentions. With 3rd and 7 now. You just got to make good decisions. You want to get this conversion. The Dolphins have only converted 2 of 10 third down plays on the day. But Matt Moore has played really well. He's completed 7 of his last 8 passes that he's thrown.
Boomer Esiason and I saw him Monday night in New York. He looked shaky. Today he looks like a completely different guy.
Because he's making better decisions. He's not panicked, and he's not throwing the ball to the other team.
3rd and 7. Looking to move up in that pocket and locate his receiver. Brian Hartline makes the move, makes the catch. Goodman among a couple there. 15-yard pickup on 3rd and 7. 1st down, Miami.
And Brian Hartline had a drop in the Monday night game. So did others. All the wide receivers seen working at the top of the screen. Coming underneath on that 6 route, working the underneath coverage. Able to get right under Goodman, and the protection held up allowed Matt Moore to step up in the pocket to complete that strike. So far, he hasn't pulled the pin on his own hand grenade.
Yeah. But moving up in that pocket is such an effective weapon to get by the rush.
Got to be able to climb the pocket if you're going to make plays at the quarterback position.
Bush is in the game, and on 1st and 10 gets the call. You see the group right there led by Robert Ayers. It's a gain of 2 for Reggie Bush to the 24.
So it's a good mix of run and pass on this drive. 6 plays so far, 3 runs, 3 pass. Said that Tony Sperano understood that you've got to be able to pound the rock, and now they're chewing time off the clock. They're approaching the red zone. They would love to be able to score once again inside that area.
Tempo,
put this game out of reach.
Tempo and rhythm are a beautiful thing for an offense.
It is. You can tell when they're working in sync with better chemistry, particularly between the quarterbacks and wide receivers on the offense here in the second half.
Daniel Thomas is in on 2nd down and 8. Incognito tries to throw a block, and they jump on him right there after a gain of 2. Doomerville getting off the pile, along with Marcus Thomas, and they'll put him at the 22.
And now that they've converted some of those 3rd down plays, or they've converted now 3 of 11, you get the sense they don't have the anxiety that they had earlier in the ball game when they get in this 3rd down situation.
How about the comfort level playing with the lead? They've done it so few times this year.
Now, that certainly goes a long way. I think the defense is giving them, really good field position, getting the stops. And Matt Moore has made much better decisions. He's leveled off his play here in the second half.
6 defensive backs on 3rd and 6. Down he goes, Dawkins again. Boy, if there's been an MVP on defense, it's got to be Brian Dawkins. He's been one of a couple guys really shining for the Broncos today. 3rd sack of the day by the Denver D. They force a 3-point try now by Miami.
Now, you got to take a look, because on a 3-step drop, you're anticipating there's Brandon Marshall right there. Now, watch when he's ready to throw. See, Brandon Marshall's not looking. He's double covered. So they took away Brandon Marshall on a 3-step drop, anticipating the blitz. and Moore had nowhere to go with the ball. Good thing that he did not throw it. It would have been intercepted.
So Dawkins comes up with his second sack today. Here is a 43-yard field goal by Dan Carpenter. Gets that baby to go right through. Rips it from 43, and the lead of Miami is 15-0. Tim Tebow today, 3 of 10 as a starting quarterback throwing for the Denver Broncos.
And now they risk being shut out. 298 straight games without being shut out. It's the longest active streak of any team in the National Football League. Last time they were shut out was in '92 when they paid a visit to the Oakland Raiders. And you have 13 days to prepare. You're coming off the bye week, and you're John Fox. You expect your offense to perform better than this.
Ole Miss Rebel Cassius Vaughn watches that sail over his head on the touchback kickoff by Carpenter. Thursday on CBS, stopping a crime before it happens isn't easy unless you have the right connections. Michael Emerson, Jim Caviezel star in a new person of interest. Thursday only on CBS. Person of interest in this game coming in, and it really kind of captured the NFL imagination of all the writers, and there are a ton of national writers at this game, was the start of Tim Tebow.
Billboards plastered all around the Denver metro area, and of course everyone's expecting a better performance from Tim Tebow. Let's see if he can give him a spot.
Dropped by Thomas. Demaryius Thomas hasn't played all season long because of an Achilles injury in February, then a subsequent broken finger and surgery. Incomplete.
And yeah, Tim Tebow gets this one to his receiver, and Demaryius Thomas has missed a lot of time due to injury. First round pick last year for the Denver Broncos along with Tim Tebow, and they've had poor field position, 11 total drives. 8 of them have started at their own 20-yard line.
2nd and 10. Eric Decker out of bounds near the 44 as he kind of loped his way through the middle. 16-yard catch and run, and that's a first down.
And now we're talking about Tim Tebow time. Can he get hot? Because they're running out of time. If you're ever going to get hot and do something, now would be a good time to do it. You can see Tim Tebow by the quarters. Fourth quarter has been his quarter.
Lance Ball is in. We told you before McGahee hurt a hand and may not return. Ball with the block. Franklin with the block. Tebow sails. Oh, and he had an open receiver. Fells at the 50. He had a wide open tight end at the 50-yard line.
And he missed him so badly, you wonder if he was throwing it away. And even John Fox said, what are we doing there? Because he's going to be wide open. Go ahead and roll it. We'll show you exactly just how wide open Fells got. Look, here's Fells here. Now throw him open. Throw him to that area. But this one sails way over the head of it. This wasn't even close. That was behind the bench.
And there's no wind. 2nd down and 10. Oh, they're on him now. Starks was chasing him. Incomplete for Fells. Coverage by Tyrone Culver, who was starting today for the injured Rashad Jones in the secondary. As you take a look at Kyle Orton.
We talked about how many big plays this defense for the Miami Dolphins. They've given up some big plays defensively. In fact, they've come into today's game allowing the most yards per pass attempt of any defense in the National Football League. But yet and still, Tim Tebow, even though when receivers do get open, not able to take advantage of it, you'd expect that if there's any secondary you could make big plays against, this would be one of them.
It's 3rd down and 10. Look out. Wake has him. Corkscrewing Tebow in back at the 30. The 5th sack authored by the Miami defense. The 2nd by Wake. And Denver's got to punt the ball.
First of all, this defense has done a good job all day of keeping Tim Tebow hemmed in the pocket. And you can see him beating the right tackle, beating Franklin again. Does Cameron Wake. And then once he gets hold of it, very strong fullback like Tim Tebow, he's able to wrestle him to the ground. And Tim Tebow, most of the time, will step out of the arms of defenders as they're trying to get the sack. That time it wasn't the case.
11 possessions, 8 punts now for Denver. 2 missed field goals and a fumble. That's been their resume today. Cole Quick to punt to Devon Bess. 15-yard line. And taken down on the play after a 15-yard return by David Bruton. 51-yard punt. Tough day in the homecoming for Tebow. 5:50 left in the game.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Subway. Go bold with breakfast and try the Sunrise Subway Melt today. And by In Time. Friday, only in theaters.
Well, coming up after the game here in Miami, Florida. Subway postgame show at JB and Company. Scores, highlights, and news. That's all coming up from our CBS studios. The Subway postgame show. 1st and 10 after the punt by the Denver Broncos. And this goes to Daniel Thomas and the tackle made by Joe Mays. There's no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10.
And now again, the Miami Dolphins do what they did on the previous drives. As you take a look at Tim Tebow, Kyle Orton. I love what Tim Tebow said yesterday. We asked him about the relationship between the quarterbacks, Brady Quinn including. He says, you know, we all support one another. We talk about it. Even Tim Tebow brought up the billboards and talked about the other stuff. He says, you know, none of us are doing that individually. There's no malice between us. And I think the support you're seeing Kyle Orton give Tim Tebow at a moment of adversity, it shows that they're all in it together.
Well, in 13 days, perhaps the best game of this college football season will be in primetime. Coming up on November 5th, LSU against Alabama, number 1 against number 2. Both teams have a bye this week, so boy, they will be raring to go. That was a gain of 2 on the play for Daniel Thomas.
Think they'll convert some third downs in that game?
Oh my gosh. That'll be in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, that's going to be a biggie.
Well, we've mentioned in this broadcast about Tony Sperano, and of course, when your team is losing, there's always a lot of conjecture. The Dolphins, one of 3 winless teams coming into today, along with Indianapolis, along with the St. Louis Rams. And it looks like he's going to notch his first win of the season.
There are fans here in Miami that clearly wants to see their team struggle enough to get Andrew Luck.
I
can't imagine it. This league is about being competitive and going out and winning every single week. And then you let the chips fall where they may. And you can see the winless teams in the National Football League so far in the 2011 season. Indianapolis Colts are 0-6. They'll play tonight against the New Orleans Saints. The Dolphins came in today's game 0-5, and look at the Rams, also 0-5.
But you know how it is. You know, the front office wants to build for the future, and the coaching staff wants to play for the present. It's a tough line to walk.
But I think it speaks to the integrity of this league. Who is it that has said you play to win the game? And that's all the coaches can do, is coach to win. The players have got to go out and play to win. And for players, I think it's a question of health as well. I mean, it's dangerous. If you go out there and you're giving anything less than 100%, I think you make yourself susceptible to injury.
It was Herman Edwards, by the way, and you know that.
There you go. Yeah,
who has been saying that we've used that line a couple times today, but that's the way these players feel. Yeah, both teams have come out and said we're playing for right now. Juan Cosby lets it bounce at the 3 and ricochet into the end zone for a touchdown. 64-yard punt. Next week, the NFL on CBS rolls on with doubleheader games. First, the Dolphins take on the Giants, then Tom Brady and the New England Patriots will play the Pittsburgh Steelers. That should be a good one. Check local listings, beginning with the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines. Next week on CBS. First down and 10 with the touchdown. Tebow remains. No Sean Moreno is in the backfield. 5 in the secondary for Miami. First and 10. Tebow. Demaryius Thomas. And he's working on the defensive back, Sean Smith. A pickup of 15. That's a first down as we take you to New York and James Brown.
Detroit has narrowed the gap because of
Megatron, JB, Matthew Stafford, Calvin Johnson, 57 yards. Detroit, no stranger to come back behind wins, trail 20-16.
Back to Kevin and Solid.
Here's a first down pass out of the backfield. Noshan Moreno. He is brought down by Kevin Burnett. That's a gain of about 9 on the play, and they're going to put him at the 44. By the way, Matt Ryan, the Atlanta quarterback, has a couple of fourth-quarter comebacks this season.
He's certainly capable of doing it. Those are two really good football teams playing over in the NFC.
Second down and 1. They sacked him 5 times. They almost get him right there. He lets loose the pass. 3rd and 1.
Want to be fair to Tim Tebow on this one. He's hanging in the pocket.
He is.
Trying to find someone open. The protection is there. No one can get open. And this is just throwing it away. That's not an overthrow on his part. That's just simply getting rid of the football and avoiding the sack.
Jason Taylor was providing some pressure. Taylor knows all about these tough seasons. He was on that 1-15 Miami team in 07 as Lance Ball gets it on 3rd and 1. Has the first down. Picks up 3. He's out to the 47. Speaking of Jason Taylor, who last season was with the Jets, think of this now. In the last 40 games, he has played for Miami, right? They are 8-32.
Wow. Boy, and the way his career began, remember, he played on teams with Dan Marino.
Yes,
he was used to winning games.
Denver gets their first 3rd down conversion, and this is Matthew Willis on the fly and takes it down to the 10. Grabbed by Tyrone Culver. Starting at safety today. That's a catch and run of 43 to the 10.
And look at the throw from Tebow. While on the move, moving his feet, but still accurate passing in tight window. Look at that. Leading the receiver across the field, away from covers. What is Vontae Davis doing at 21? Because it didn't look like he was in chase full stride to make that tackle.
They mark him at the 12. Willis is on at UCLA, wondering when he's going to get some more playing time. Good 43-yard catch and run right there. Tebow, here comes Taylor. Sack number 134. Sunday he will be in camp. Jason Taylor.
How does Tim Tebow hold on to this ball? Because Jason Taylor, he's unleashed on the quarterback, Tim Tebow. There he is in that wide 9 position coming around the corner. Look at him in a 4-point stance. No one picks him up. And how does Tim Tebow hold on to the ball, even though no one blocked Jason Taylor?
Second down, 16 for Tebow. Here comes Starks. There goes Tebow. Good move by Burnett. He finally rams his way into Dansby. That was a quick move by Kevin Burnett by Tim Tebow. Scrambling for 14. He's down to the 4.
Yeah, it looks like it's Tim Tebow time, but is it enough with time on the clock? And you can see him shaking and baking, making defenders miss in space. This is how he plays his game. And now can he get him into the end zone?
3rd down and 3. Moreno at his side. Now they're flaring. From the other side, Wake can't get him. He's already sacked him twice. And that is a touchdown reception. Grabbed by Demaryius Thomas. 5-yard touchdown pass by Tim Tebow.
Now this is the magic that we've been waiting for to see from Tim Tebow. Watch the defender coming in from the blind side. But then look at the presence here. He feels him, spins out of it, and then this rocket shot with the left arm for a touchdown to Thomas. Now that's the quarterback just making the play.
Thomas with the grab. That is his 2nd catch today. 5-yard touchdown pass by Tim Tebow. 2:44 to play, but you can see Denver is out of timeouts.
He should have been sacked on that play, Kevin.
Should have been.
He had eyes,
yeah, you're right.
in the back of his head.
And some good numbers on that drive. The big play, a 43-yard catch and run by Matthew Willis.
Spinning away from Cameron Wake, and there you see the nice throw with accuracy, yet again while on the move from Tebow.
Sean Smith was covering in the secondary for Miami. Every scoring play is reviewed, and they have buzzed Clete Blakeman, our referee, here on the field.
Miami takes their 2nd timeout. This will be a 30-second timeout.
All right, the timeout taken by the Dolphins, maybe to buy more time for the review booth to take a look at this play.
Yeah, let's see if it was indeed a catch. There's the extended hands. Ball touched the ground, but did it move at all?
Nothing to show you that
Nothing
it did.
to show us that it did. Look at the rush. How does he ever see Cameron Wake? And then the throw to Thomas. There's the catch. Maybe the ball did hit the ground, but remember, if you control the ball through it making contact with the ground and it doesn't wobble or move, and you maintain constant possession through making contact with the ground, they're going to rule it a catch.
Now, this was a very good timeout taken by Miami because the added time has given the replay booth to indeed buzz the referee and say they're going to review it. So had they not called the timeout, Denver would have gotten up and kicked the extra point. But because they called the timeout, Miami bought a little bit of time for the replay booth, which we'll now take a look at.
Did you see enough there to overturn the call on the field?
Well, that will be the thing that Clete Blakeman will take a look at under the hood. Let's watch this one more time from this angle.
Take a look at it yet again. Okay. See, there's the ball on the ground there. But you still don't see if the ball moves at all. Ball is on the ground, but does it move?
Slowly come up now. Let's see it.
Little slight rotation, but you can see he's got the ball. He's possessing the ball. Little look as we can show you.
Watch it one more time.
Okay, we're going to look at it yet again. Okay, take a look at that. He saw the ball on the ground there. And now, see, the ball is still squarely in his possession.
That's a good angle.
I'm not so sure the ball rotated or moved within his mitts.
Well, we will find out. Like we were talking about, this has been a tough day for Tim Tebow. Sacked 6 times. His numbers throwing the ball, at least right now, pending the review, 8 of 19, 111 yards, and a touchdown. Let's see if it sticks. As they've reviewed it, and we will find out. 2:44 to play in this game in Miami.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands. It is a touchdown. Miami is not charged with a timeout, however. It's an administrative stop.
Right. But they still bought time by taking that timeout.
Oh, Demaryius Thomas dropped one earlier in the game. This is a player that I think he's got loads of potential. And if he can stay healthy, remember he tore his Achilles tendon back in February, had to have surgery to repair it, and came back faster than the team thought he would.
They were so surprised.
But then he injured a finger.
Yeah.
And so he's had an assortment of injuries, but he has shown that when he's healthy and on the field, he can make plays.
In fact, Thomas has 3 screws in that finger just to hold it together so he could play this year. Prater whacks it through. And we've got a new score. 2:44 to play, and Denver has made it a little bit closer with Miami on top, 15-7. Once again, number 1 LSU, number 2 Alabama. Mark it down in prime time, 8 o'clock Eastern time, November 5th, 13 days from now in Tuscaloosa. You couldn't ask for a better late season college football game.
Yeah, speaking of Mr. SEC, there he is right there. And Champ Bailey's a former SEC player, played at the University of Georgia, teaming up with Tim Tebow from Florida. One might say that Alabama LSU, it's like a prelude to a national championship game.
I don't know if the national championship will be that good.
Will be as good
as that one right there. You're right. The other kind of side story of this game, as we've shown you a couple times and talked about, the 09 national championship Florida Gator team was honored at halftime. Urban Meyer was here, 20-plus members of that team. Tebow, of course, playing for Denver. This is the home of the Miami Hurricanes, and they were not too happy, that university nor that football team, that they would honor a rival like the Florida Gators in this building.
Hey,
and there are a lot of Miami Hurricane fans in attendance today.
But doesn't Tim Tebow transcend those boundaries? He's a statewide guy.
Yeah, he is.
They love him in southern Florida, northern Florida, which is where he's from, in Ponte Vedra Beach in Jacksonville.
Prater's going to try, it looks like, and onside kick. We've only had one successful onside kick in the NFL in the fourth quarter this year. Only one successful fourth quarter onside kick this season. So they're 1 of 8 league-wide in that category. That's what Denver's trying to pull off right now. Timeout was taken.
And now let's go back to the 2 missed field goals by Prater, because you would have a score of 15-13, and now those missed field goals, and as it usually is, it comes back to haunt you.
Yep. He missed from 49. He missed from 43. So Prater has struggled in that category. Tebow just threw a 5-yard touchdown pass to a diving Demaryius Thomas and has brought this game a little bit closer. So Prater will have it ready to go. And that was caught, grabbed on the ball. Was it fumbled on the play? Marlon Moore went up. Denver thinks they've got it, and they do! A successful onside kick, which sets the table for Tebow. And picked up on the play by Virgil Green, who is a rookie out of Nevada.
And watch, the ball never travels 10 yards.
14 is Marlon Moore.
The Dolphins go up to get it aggressively. And look, right here, the ball comes out before he gets to the ground. You see that ball there?
Yes.
It starts to ooze out. See, it's already on the ground, even though you don't see it come out from that angle.
And there is Green vacuuming it in, number 85.
Take another look at it. I saw the ball coming out before he made contact with the ground. There it is. You can see it come out. And the Dolphins and the Broncos
Can you
scoop it up.
believe this?
And
Moore is a wide receiver.
And it's Tim Tebow time. He saw him get hot on that last possession. Made some incredible plays. You love his resiliency because, let's face it, before that previous drive, it hadn't been pretty. And I think Champ Bailey even told us, he said, you know, at first it isn't pretty, but he is a magical kind of player. Kind of Doug Flutie-like.
Yes.
Is probably the best that I could explain it.
You can see the timeout story. Again, he injured the hand. O'Shawn Moreno at the side of Tebow. Now the official stop play once again.
.241 on the play clock. Game clock. 2:41, please.
And they just got some more time.
Well, John Fox isn't going to complain about that.
I think he was trying to say 44. But they'll take 41. And from the 44-yard line, 1st and 10. Over Jason Taylor. On the money for Demaryius Thomas. Brought down on the play by Sean Smith. 7-yard pickup to the 49 of Miami.
And now we get to see Tim Tebow in a no-huddle offense, trying to run the clock before we hit the 2-minute warning.
2nd down and 3, and again Denver without timeouts. O'Shawn Moreno. Cameron Wake brings it down close to a 1st down at the 46.
That'll be close. See if we can get another play off. I don't think they're going to get it off before that 2-minute warning.
We're at the 2-minute warning. They did not get it off in time. 3rd and 1 when we come back. We're at the 2-minute warning. Denver is out of timeouts. They're on the move at the Miami 46 and facing 3rd and 1.
And now let's see if Tim Tebow, this is the area where he can take over the ball game. And for as much of the failures he's experienced in the early going of the ball game, he can more than make up for it in the next few minutes.
5 in the secondary, 3rd and 1. Tebow himself. He's got the 1st down. Wake brings him down, gain of 4, and he'll be spotted at the 43.
And take a look at the game summary. Tim Tebow, 4-14, 60 yards passing in the game. But Matt Moore has done a better job playing more evenly, particularly in the second half.
1st and 10 for Tebow, sacked 6 times today. Here comes Taylor. There goes Tebow, incomplete, looking for Thomas. And covered on the play by Sean Smith.
And the key plays in this ball game, Kevin, have come with 2 missed field goals by Matt Prater, the kicker for the Denver Broncos. And they have missed on opportunities to score points. They could have had 6 there. Then Willis McGahee fumbled, set up the touchdown. Matt Moore to Anthony Fasano. First time they scored the touchdown in 11 quarters. And then the touchdown from Tim Tebow to Demaryius Thomas. That's why our score is 15-7 at this point.
2nd down and 10. He's got it. Royal spins his way to the 35. He picks up 8. Again, no timeouts. Clock continues to tick. At the 36, 3rd and 2. Lance Ball is coming in the backfield. That's on the money. Caught for a 1st down. Get out of bounds. Eric Decker. 5-yard reception. They'll put him at the 31.
Now, Tim Tebow showed me something on that throw, because that was clear on the other side of the field when he's on the far hash, and boy, did he throw that one right on the money. You throw that ball late and loose going to the boundary, it could be intercepted, it could be a pick 6, but he showed great accuracy on the throw.
Ball remains 1st down and 10. Incomplete to Matthew Willis. Tyrone Culver was defending in the secondary for Miami.
Well, Tim Tebow, he has a strong arm. Matthew Willis, look at this one, right on top of it. Can't handle it. Got to stop the point of the ball, but what velocity on that throw from Tim Tebow.
Ron Fox made the decision to change from Morton to Tebow before the bye last week. 2nd down and 10. And what a catch! What a catch by the tight end, Fells! All the way to the 4. 26-yard pickup. Clock continues to go. No timeouts. 1st and goal to go.
Now they're going to see if he made the catch.
The previous play is under review.
Give Tim Tebow credit. He understood it was a controversial play, that they may want to take a look at it, try to get the ball snapped. Look at this throw, and Fails lunges for it.
That's a catch.
I don't see if that ball came out. That's a beautiful catch, and what a throw from Tebow.
Not enough to overturn it.
Throwing it right over the head of the linebacker as Fails lunges for it. Great throw, even better catch from Fails.
Fells has spent the last 3 years with St. Louis, where he had a sprinkling of starts. He's from UC Davis. He came into the league undrafted 4 years ago.
Where were these throws earlier in the ball game from Tim Tebow? This is a wonderful throw. There were triple coverage in the area. The trailing linebacker, and then watch the 2 safeties coming in over the top.
Burnett was covering the ex-San Diego Charger.
Now that's a tight window to throw that ball, and at a clutch moment in the ball game for Tim Tebow. This is where he just comes alive. Talk about that Doug Flutie magic and the spark needed from Tim Tebow. He finds it, but now with 33 seconds left on the clock, they're going to need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Look at the throw. There's the catch. I haven't seen anything that would allow them to overturn this catch.
That was a terrific catch. Clete Blakeman has viewed the replay.
Now down inside the 5-yard line, you usually get Tim Tebow running the ball.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands. It's a 1st and goal, Denver.
Can you believe it? We're in Miami, and you would think it's a home crowd and a home game for Denver with the cheers.
They're cheering for Tim Tebow.
1st and goal.
Their home team.
Yeah, right. 1st and goal at the 3. They took over at their 44 with 2:44 to play. 9th play of the drive coming up. zone incomplete for Demaryius Thomas. Coverage on the play by Sean Smith.
Also, you want to rush the quarterback, but you got to be careful. You don't want to go flying up the field and allow Tim Tebow to keep it and run underneath. He does try to throw it. Looked like Thomas almost gave up on it because he felt he was being held. It was a well-thrown ball. And watch him. See, he kind of gives up on this one. He closed on that one, try to make a catch. He was defended by Sean Smith.
Under center this time, second and goal at the 3. Fells to the pylon. That's a touchdown.
Just a tight end screen with action going away from Fales, who slips to the open area of the field. Look, he's by himself with a convoy of guys who probably could have been called for illegally downfield because they're almost in the end zone when he catches this ball.
They're within 2. Fells terrific on that drive. They're within 2. They'll try for 2.
Well, this is going to tie it if they can convert it.
I could see a run here by Tebow, huh?
You could see a run, but I would suspect they would give him a run-pass option, maybe some kind of rollout, something to getting outside of the pocket. Now, if he reads the linebackers are spread out and not defending behind the defensive lineman, he'll run some kind of quarterback draw where he'll drop back and then keep it and run it up the gut.
Urban Meyer has seen a lot of games like this with Tebow. Moreno in motion.
So you'll get the spread formation. And now a timeout.
The final timeout for the Dolphins.
That spread formation, Kevin, is designed to spread the defense thin behind the defensive line. And hopefully they'll get guys charging up the field trying to get to Tim Tebow where the offensive lineman will turn out. Tim Tebow will automatically abort the play called in the huddle and just keep it and run for a touchdown, depending on the look that he'll get from the defense.
Tebow's resume and the offense's resume before these last 2 series, they had 11 possessions, 8 punts, 1 fumble, 2 missed field goals. But on the last 2 possessions, a 5-yard touchdown pass to Thomas, 3-yard touchdown pass to Fells. Now they try for 2 and try to tie.
Well, the spread, no linebackers defending behind the line.
For the tie, Tebow, they got it! Unanswered points by the Denver Broncos. 17 seconds left to play, and Tebow has done it again.
Well, take a look at it. No one behind the defensive line, so he'll just keep it. Tim Tebow, perfect read on the defense based on the spread formation they had. When you have no linebackers backing up the defensive line at the second level, he understands he's going to keep it. Now, that's a play you would not run with Kyle Orton at quarterback. You talk about tailoring the offense to Tim Tebow and him doing special things. Well, you got it on that 2-point conversion to tie the game up at 15. So he fakes like he's going to throw it. No way was he going to throw that ball. That was just too easy.
On a day where they honor Tebow's national championship team from 2009, he won that game against Oklahoma to capture the national title in this stadium. Go back to high school as a senior when he was being recruited by Urban Meyer. He won a high school title game, the Class 4A state championship game in this building. In fact, they needed him down the stretch to play defense, and he played defensive line in that game. And what about Tony Sperano on the hot seat here? 15 unanswered points by Denver late, and they've come back to tie with 17 seconds left in regulation.
And if you're Matt Moore, you're thinking, boy, we finally start to make some plays on offense, and our defense does a good job of stopping the Denver Broncos offense the entire game. And then on their last 2 possessions, the Broncos take it in for a touchdown, and then another touchdown, and the 2-point conversion.
Odrick is getting up slowly, the defensive lineman. Urban Meyer watching from the side. He has seen Tebow do this before, and now he sees him do it again here in the pros.
If you're Urban Meyer, aren't you kind of a little bit divided? You're a Florida guy, but you're rooting for Tim Tebow.
Tebow has thrown 2 touchdown passes and gone in on a 2-point try. 5-yard touchdown pass to Thomas. Last possession, a 3-yard touchdown pass to Fells, who, by the way, has made the play of the game with that diving catch inside the 5 for the Broncos, who have come back to tie winless Miami at 0-5. And there's a look at Fells. And 1 win, Denver. The ensuing kickoff by Prater. The rookie Gates will leave it in the end zone. The touchback to the 20. No timeouts for either team and 17 seconds with which to work for the Miami Dolphins.
Tim Tebow time strikes again. Matt Moore with only 17 seconds to go. Maybe you take a shot down the field. Just maybe you can get Carpenter in position to make a play. You can see the target line is just beyond the 40-yard line is where they need to get.
Look, they're just going to sit on the ball.
Yeah, they're going to sit on this one.
And we're going to go to overtime. And the fans don't like it, but boy, does it make for some great TV.
Tim Tebow doesn't disappoint. The numbers don't look good. But at the end of the day, when we talked about it, we were not going to judge him on all the statistical data, even though he does have a couple of touchdowns in this game, that we were going to judge him on effect, on the outcome. What are the results with Tim Tebow? Finally turns it on and is able to tie this game up and take us into overtime.
They got to be going nuts in Denver right now. I mean, they've been clamoring for this guy to play. Billboards have been put up. Pressure from the fans. He almost pulled one out a couple weeks ago before the bye against San Diego.
But what were they thinking the first 3 quarters of this game? When we were showing some of those incompletions and wide receivers, the ball selling over their head, then somehow or another he pulls it together, Kevin, starts throwing laser-lock passes with accuracy, converting third down into first downs, and then making magical plays, even while under pressure in the pocket, spinning out of the pressure provided by Cameron Wade, throwing a touchdown.
Here's the situation. We'll
Thomas.
play up to 1 15-minute period. First team to score wins. You each get 2 timeouts. All replays will be handled upstairs. Okay? Denver's a visiting team. It's your call. That's heads with the helmet, T with the tail. Heads is the call. Heads is the call. It is tails. Miami wins. You want the ball? Which way? You want to kick that way? Yeah. Okay. Miami wins and we'll receive.
How ironic. Kyle Orton, one of the team captains, out there calling it. Tebow has taken his place, led his team for 15 unanswered points to tie. Urban Meyer and Stephen Ross, that is the owner on the right there, the owner of the Miami Dolphins.
How do you stand next to the owner of the Miami Dolphins while you're still rooting for the quarterback for the opposing team? You know, Urban Meyer's got to be feeling really good about how his former quarterback Tim Tebow has performed, but yet he's standing next to the owner of the Dolphins. It's got to be sort of split right down the middle.
He may be unconventional, Tebow, but he sure makes things exciting, doesn't he?
Oh, absolutely. Fun to watch.
Kickoff by Prater. We're in overtime. And they'll leave it in the end zone. So the Denver Broncos in the final 2:44 come back. First of all, Demaryius Thomas on the pass from Tebow. This great catch by Fells. And then Fells gets it and goes in for a touchdown. They come within 2. And on the 2-point try, Tebow bulldozing his way in to tie it at 15 unanswered points. And don't forget about the onside kick that Denver retrieved to get that game-tying drive.
Flawless execution in those final 2 minutes by the Denver Broncos.
Matt Moore, 1st and 10 with Bush in the backfield. Broken up. Nice defensive play right there by Chris Harris. He is undrafted out of Kansas. It's 2nd down and 10.
If you're Matt Moore, you've got to be careful with the ball. There are times you need to be aggressive, and then there are times when you need to be more careful and make better decisions. Threw that ball late, nearly intercepted by Chris Harris.
Daniel Thomas, the rookie running back, is now in for quarterback Matt Moore. 2nd down and 10. blitz. Marshall, the ex-Bronco, working on Champ Bailey, a guy that he went against in practice for many years. It's a gain of 9 to the 29.
All right, Champ Bailey. They're battling to keep Marshall from slicing down inside on that slant route, because once Marshall gets down in front of you, he's 6'4", 230. No way you're going to keep him from catching that ball. He cast a huge shadow.
The Dolphins have just got to be shell-shocked.
They have to be, and should have played better defensively, particularly on the two-point conversion.
It's 3rd down and 1. Thomas digging. He didn't get the first down. Hagan came and got him. No gain, 3 and out. Good hit from Quentin Carter in the secondary. Harris put in a helpful hand, and Thomas, their future here in the backfield, couldn't grind out a yard. And so Sperano brings them off. We have a Bronco player down, and that player is Robert Ayers.
Now this is just amazing. The Dolphins that seemingly take control of this game jumped out to a 12-0 lead here in the second half. They're scoring touchdowns when they had struggled to do so. They started moving the ball offensively. We're playing very well against Tim Tebow, keeping him hemmed inside the pocket. Now Tony Sperano can't believe what he's seeing.
Fields will punt. Deep back, they got Quan Cosby. Wind now is negligible here in Miami. In overtime, again, the Dolphins, one of 3 winless teams. Colts tonight will play in a game against the New Orleans Saints. Tebow and Denver's offense ready. Fields to punt. Little hang time, Quan Cosby. Slipping his way to the 44. Brought down in the play by Marlon Moore. It's a 21-yard return, a good one by Cosby on a 48-yard punt. You know what they got to be saying about Tebow? You know, get me to the end zone. Find me some points. We can talk about all the quarterback style points later on. Just find me some scores.
Oh, there's a number of ways to play the position, and not everyone plays quarterback the same way.
Welcoming our new audience. Here's a handoff by Tebow on 1st and 10. This is Lance Ball chugging his way for 5. Out to the 50-yard line. 15 unanswered points by Tebow and the offense in the final 2:44 of this game. They got an onside kick involved in that, and Tebow has thrown 2 touchdown passes and has taken his team to a tie. Now the possession, the first by the Broncos in this overtime. 2nd down and 5. No Sean Moreno wrapped up. Brought down. Hodrick was right there with the stop on a gain of a yard.
And here's the game summary. Tim Tebow, 2 touchdown passes plus the 2-point conversion in the 4th quarter to tie this game up. Matt Moore had his offense going. See the damage done by him in the second half. And the Denver Broncos have scored 15 unanswered points to tie this game up and bring us into overtime.
3rd down and 5. Tebow corkscrewed in. Nice defensive play by Randy Starks on the defensive line. The 7th sack authored by the Miami defense today on Tim Tebow.
And a sack they needed in order to get the ball back, because good field position for Tim Tebow and the Denver Broncos. They pick up a couple of first downs. They're going to be in field goal range. So huge stop by the Miami Dolphins defense.
All right, to punt now is Britton Colquitt. He is a top 3 punter in both net and gross. As good as we got going in the NFL right now. The back is Devon Best back at the 10 for Miami. Setting up the return. Terrific hang time. Looking up into that bright Florida sun. 4-6 on the hang time. 38-yard well-placed punt to the 15. So here comes for a second time in this overtime Matt Moore, taking the place of the injured Chad Henne. He was injured a couple weeks ago in San Diego with the dislocated shoulder.
And Kevin, this offense was at its best for the Miami Dolphins in the second half. I thought at least when they were moving Brandon Marshall around, they were putting him in the slot, and they were getting the matchup advantage they wanted. They couldn't get Champ Bailey to defend it because Champ goes to the outside. You put Brandon Marshall in the slot, start to move him around, he can make some plays and get the offense going.
Reggie Bush in the backfield, first down and 10. Moore. Oh, broken up on the play. That's the undrafted rookie Harris jumping right in front of Devon Best. Incomplete pass. Best could not get the pass from the quarterback.
There he is right there. Now take a look at that. Good positioning. He whiffs on the jam, but still works underneath, fighting. That ball is actually dropped. Devon Best should have caught it. It was more of a drop than it was Harris making a defensive play.
Best has had 7 catches today, too. He's been a prime target of Matt Moore.
Well, they need 8 from him.
Yeah, they do.
They need more.
Second down and 10. Daniel Thomas in the backfield. That's caught. Good looking catch made by Marshall. Finally brought down by rookie Quentin Carter. 17-yard pickup. They work the ball to the 31.
You see they're putting him in a position to get matched up, and you can see a little rub off even though Bailey's in coverage. That stack formation for the wide receivers doesn't allow Bailey to get up and be aggressive and jam Marshall at the line of scrimmage. So that little creativity right there by way of formation allows Brandon Marshall to get open for the completion.
Broncos going with 6 in the secondary, first and 10. This is Thomas. It's a block by Colombo. Tackle made by Brian Dawkins, who's got a couple sacks today. That's a 7-yard pickup to the 38.
Yeah, now you get the sense that this offense is gaining some rhythm on this possession here in overtime as John Fox looks on. He knows his defense got to be able to dial up something, create a big play, force a turnover, and if you're Tony Sperano, you just say, hey, hold on to the ball when we run it. Quarterback make good decisions, and wide receivers get the catch, create yards after the catch, but secure the football.
Second down, long 2. Thomas again. He works his way to about the 42-yard line. Has the first down, picking up 3 on the play. B.J. Williams makes the stop.
Well, it's amazing that the Denver Broncos defense hasn't crowded the line of scrimmage a little bit more because Matt Moore hasn't really attempted any passes down the field.
You're right.
Everything has been of the dink and dunk variety, and you'd expect them to swarm and crowd the line of scrimmage a little bit more, blitzing Matt Moore and see if you can force some errant throws since they're not taking those shots down the field.
5 defensive backs for Denver on first and 10. Here comes B.J. Williams. Swipe the ball away. A sack and maybe a fumble. Let's see. B.J. Williams came through with the tomahawk chop as Moore felt the pressure. This is huge.
It's going to be very huge.
Oh, they got the ball. It's Denver's ball on Miami's first turnover today.
Already in field goal range inside the 40-yard line. Working against the right tackle, Mark Colombo. Watch him come in for the right side of your screen. Swatting the ball down right there. Smartly so. Getting the ball out. And the one mistake made by Moore. Look how he holds that ball up high. Not 2 hands on it, but 1. All quarterbacks are taught carriage of the football must be done with 2 hands high on the football. He's holding it with 1. DJ Williams comes in, swats the ball out to get the ball back for his football team already in field goal position.
Lance ball in the backfield. Tebow on first down and 10. Koamisi brings him down after a gain of a yard in pre-game warmups. Matt Prater hit a 63-yard field goal from this direction, going to our left into the wind.
But then came out and began this game by missing 2 field goals that would have given the Denver Broncos 6 points in the first half.
Including a 49-yarder at this end of the field, where he knocked in the 63-yarder before the game. Second down and 9. Ball again. It looks like they're just trying to set up the field goal try. Burnett makes the stop, gain of a yard, down to the 34.
Trying to keep him in the middle of the field. You can see with that run, not wanting to break it outside. 400 regular season wins in franchise history. First win at Miami would come today if they can get it. They're 0-7 all time.
Tebow in the offense, scoring 15 unanswered points. 2 touchdown passes, short ones late in the game, and a 2-point run by Tebow. 15 unanswered. 3rd down and 8. Ball remains. And Ball out of the pile. Cameron Wake makes the stop on a gain of a yard. All right. They've set it up for Matt Prater, number 3 all-time in field goals, 50 or more. But this should be just under 50 yards. Let's see where they spot the ball.
We've seen him push one to the right. We've seen him pull one to the left.
52 yards. In his career, 9 of 13 from 50 or longer. Again, the wind is really not causing any kind of commotion on top of the uprights. This is for the win and an incredible comeback. Timeout Miami. It'll be a 52-yarder. What do you think?
Well, it's one of those deals. I think you got to be able to do that. And, I mean, if you're the Miami Dolphins, you're going to be kicking yourself. And John Fox knows his team is fortunate. His offense woke up just in the nick of time. And you might say that the Dolphins snatched victory from the jaws of defeat when they couldn't possess the onside kick. And they had victory. They had it right there in their hands, knocked the ball out, and Denver was able to mount the comeback.
He's had 100 field goal attempts in his career. He's never had one blocked. He hasn't made today. This for a win. 52 yards. He got it! Denver and Tebow have won! Points. Tebow 2 touchdown passes and a game-winning field goal of 52 yards. If you would have written this script, you wouldn't have believed it.
No, you would not. And you can see the respect that Tim Tebow has from his teammates. They love him, but right now they love Matt Prater more. Nailing the game winner in overtime after missing 2 earlier field goals in the first half. What redemption.
On the same field where Tebow won a high school state title, a college national championship in his first start this season, the 4th of his career, he wins in this stadium. 18 unanswered points in the final 10-20 of regulation and overtime. A lot to be thankful for. The Dolphins 0-6, Denver going to 2-4. What a finish. Thank you for the ride. For Solomon Wilcox, Kevin Harlan.